Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of E3 2021. It is a huge day today, possibly the biggest day of the entire E3 show because it is back to back with press conferences today. And you bet your ass we're going to be here the whole day breaking them down, expert analysis. We're going to have a great time. So, kicking off this morning, we've got Xbox and Bethesda. Then we've got Square Enix Presents, a little Back for Blood, and then PC Gaming Show and Future Games Show. So here, joining me to break down everything that's happening today is Jordan Ramey.
Yo.
And Timur Hussein.
Let's talk about games, baby.
It is a huge day of E3 today, like I've already said, but it's kind of strange because Xbox has already started the news cycle in earnest. Like, they got a bunch of announcements out of the way last week. They released this big video of Phil Spencer kind of talking about Xbox's plans for the future. A lot of really cool tidbits in there. So let's talk about those briefly. First of all, the fact that Xbox is exploring putting the Xbox experience straight into TVs. I don't want to invoke Stadia here because it feels like Xbox has way more of a plan to do with all their cloud gaming stuff than Google did for Stadia, which is unfortunate because Stadia worked, and when it worked, it was great, but like the pricing model was kind of a mess. Like the games rollout was not good. You've got Xbox, who already has this stable of incredible games, stable of first-party developers, famous franchises. Tam, do you think this is going to be something they'll discuss more in this press conference, or is it something that they're just kind of mentioning now and they'll talk about later?
I think they will discuss xCloud and their kind of plans to propagate their presence within more areas of entertainment and devices. And honestly, I am excited to hear about that. And I know you drew a comparison to Stadia, and there's one of the most favorable comparisons for Xbox is it actually works. Like, I've used xCloud in a bunch of situations, both ranging from bad internet to good internet to, just using touchscreen to using a controller connected. And almost in every situation, I had a playable experiences. Some of it was incredibly good to the point where it felt like there was no lag and everything was super high quality. Stadia, on the other hand, very much the opposite case. Like, I've had little to no success playing that game, and I've always been very much aware of the fact that I'm being streamed a game. So the idea of that technology being shown in just everyday devices like TV is incredibly exciting because I have first-hand experience of it working really well using just the phone. And TVs are quite capable of more than these days than they have been in the past. So I do hope we see it, and I hope that they show it off. And it definitely feels, although for most people they're coming to this for games, it definitely is a feather in Microsoft's cap, and I hope that they take it off and wave it and tickle people's noses and make them sneeze and stuff with it.
I mean, cloud gaming there. So they also mentioned that things like xCloud is going to be coming to browser. It's eventually coming to sort of the Xbox dashboard on consoles. But I think most excitingly, and Phil Spencer has teased this before. Well, actually, Microsoft has worked with this before. Remember the grand promises for Crackdown 3, right? It was supposed to be super, super impressive and like built in the cloud, but it felt like they sort of prematurely announced all that. But now Xbox is really doubling down and saying that cloud development is going to be something they really, really focus on going forward. So Jordan, do you think we're going to kind of see any games that are either being partly developed in the cloud or completely developed in the cloud today? Because they did tease it again last week.
They did. I'm not wholly convinced that they're going to go back to that strategy. It's one of those things I'm like, maybe I'm just not the type of gamer that they're appealing to. I'm of the mind that I'm like, you probably want to make a game that's like, oh, it just as easily you sell this hardware physical version, find it on the Xbox store, and there's a cloud-based version that you can play via xCloud. But I mean, there's probably a bunch of people out there who are not the traditional idea of the console PC gamer, and so the idea of a game specifically made for them that they can just stream onto their phone, onto their laptop, onto their iPad from anywhere is probably like super appealing to them. And so there could just be this entire audience out there that I'm just not a part of, but that Phil Spencer in his infinite wisdom, he can see from the top of his Xbox mountain. And so I would not be surprised if we get like a few cloud based entire games announced at E3 this year.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued, and I think the other thing, before we talk about games specifically, stuff that they talked about last week was obviously the impact that Game Pass is having. So a couple of stats that like Game Pass owners and users play 30% more genres and 40% more games, and a more like 50%, they spend 50% more on actual content, whether that be DLC or buying games outright. So Game Pass, obviously a subscription model that is really just lighting the gaming world on fire a little bit today. We already had a leak that Yakuza Like a Dragon is coming to Game Pass. Yakuza Like a Dragon, like, I love Yakuza, but it took me 3 months to play Yakuza 0, and I bought Yakuza Like a Dragon at launch, and I'm still only in chapter 4. I could have waited. But you know what? I am happy. I'm happy to give them my money, but I'm like, damn it. Because if I'd finished it, it'd be fine. But I imagine there will be obviously a huge emphasis on Game Pass today. Do you think there's any other surprises that could possibly come to the service? Not even just game specific. Like we know that EA Play is a part of Game Pass Ultimate. Could there be a sneaky announce of something like Warner Brothers games or Ubisoft games coming to the service? Tam.
Yeah, well, there's been that that kind of rumor and almost leak that Back 4 Blood might be coming to the Game Pass service. So we'll see if that's a thing. That would be a huge thing for that game, I imagine, and for Game Pass. You know, we're living in a kind of age right now where everyone seems to be making a Left 4 Dead game again. Between this and the Vampire the Masquerade game and Quarantine and the others. And the team that originally made Left 4 Dead, their next game, being Back 4 Blood, being on Xbox's service is incredibly enticing, and I imagine they'll market as such. And like we said before, if anything, Xbox Game Pass's impact can be seen in Outriders, where that game, you know, I wouldn't say had massive like presence and awareness coming up to release, but it certainly got a huge boost from being on Game Pass, and the community was given a very healthy injection. I feel like something like Back 4 Blood is going to benefit massively. If it's there on day one and you don't have to buy it, I know I sure as hell will be playing it on Game Pass. And if I don't have a subscription, then I need to check. If it's lapsed, I will be resubscribing if it's lapsed. And because that makes perfect sense. Like I tell all my friends, let's play on Xbox because it's on Xbox for free and we can all get in at no added cost.
Yeah, I mean that's like how we all started playing like Project Winter, right? Because it was just on Game Pass and it worked on like console and PC. So I really hope the Back 4 Blood rumors are true, but I guess we will find out later today. So let's discuss some of the games that either we know will be present at Xbox Bethesda's showcase today, or we can kind of assume, or maybe even ones that we just really hope to see. So I think it's fairly obvious to say that Halo is going to have a huge showing today. It's also Xbox's like 20th anniversary this year, so I imagine they're going to definitely be holding on to those sort of legacy franchises that they have. Jordan, what do you need to see from Halo Infinite today? Because obviously we have seen gameplay before, but maybe it didn't have the impact that I think 343 and Xbox wanted it to.
Yeah, I guess I just want a more definitive idea of exactly how Halo Infinite plays, with the idea of this open-ish world setting that it's doing. Like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo have all evolved over the years, and Halo's finally coming back. They're trying to recover from the not super well-received campaign of Halo 5 Guardians, but the pretty good multiplayer of Halo 5 Guardians, and just the idea that we're going back to Chief and we're going to be playing on this world that looks a lot like the original Halo, but they're going to try to adjust the formula just a little bit, where it's like, oh, there's multiple objectives that you can kind of like choose how to tackle in like whatever order you want. Like that's a shift from original Halos. Like we just do these campaigns of huge set pieces, and I'm like, I'm not convinced that this change is necessarily a good change. I mean, sometimes change is good, sometimes change is bad. And I want a better idea of how this adjustment to the campaign, what it does for Halo, what it does for its storytelling. So I hope that they give us some sort of extended look at like a 5 to 8 minute look at a campaign mission or something. Like, this is how this campaign mission might play out for you, and if you chose to do this one optional thing, it might adjust how the mission changes, but the story stays the same. I just want to see that. I want confirmation that Halo is still those big set piece style campaign missions and everything.
Yeah, and I mean, Tam, you used to play a lot of Halo. I know you've kind of fallen off in recent years. What does Halo Infinite need to do to bring you back?
I think it just needs to feel like it has I think it needs to feel distinct. I think the problem that I've had with Halo, and I've played every single Halo game extensively up until this point, even Halo Wars, and I think that the issue with the franchise that I personally found is when it got caught kind of in the middle between knowing what it is and its own identity and the trends of what first-person shooters were becoming at the time. You know, Call of Duty and those kind of games kind of usurped it in a lot of ways. They redefined how a first-person shooter is played, and Halo was the franchise that defined how first-person shooters are played on consoles. You know, it was the first game that you played on a console and were like, this works and it feels good. Then Call of Duty came along, did what it did, but did it better with ADS and sprint and that kind of stuff. And that left Halo in a really weird place where it started to feel like it wasn't really keeping up with anything else. And then it started doing like half measures into one side and while also trying to maintain its own identity. And it became this thing that didn't really know what it was, and it didn't feel confident in what it was doing. They started to get a bit more of that back with more recent games. I hope that they have more of a defined vision for how this game should play. And that's what I need to go into it to get me excited about it. I want them to know whether this thing is a sprint or not a sprint game, and they commit to that. I want them to know whether they're going to have weird abilities and that kind of stuff, and lean into what makes it interesting. Obviously, I still want some interesting, new, different kind of innovations and mechanics, but I don't necessarily expect that. At this point, I'd be happy if Halo plays like Halo, just because we're at a stage now where all first-person shooters play the same. So if they just did another classic style Halo, I think it would be unique enough on its own to be almost anachronistic and pull me back in. So yeah, I think that's what it needs to do. And also some good epic battles and, you know, a decent story again. I'm tired of the weird, wacky, like Chief is off doing his other stuff over here, so you play as this weird, random other team. Not into that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the line they're definitely going to have to toe, right? You want to, with a game like Halo, you have this core DNA, like the core pillars of what a Halo game is, or at least what a Halo game was, but then you have the sensitivities of a modern first-person shooter player, because first-person shooters have evolved significantly, like you said, and so I'm particularly very interested to see if Halo is gonna stick to its guns, no pun intended, or if it's gonna try something new and actually commit to that, or if it's just gonna be this kind of weird thing that kind of has a foot in each side or something. Kind of lost myself with the metaphor there, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think Halo Infinite's probably safe to say it's gonna open the show or close the show. But if I had to put money on it, I would say it would open the show, and a big surprise would be the closer. But another game that we do know is going to be shown today, we're going to see some Battlefield gameplay. So obviously we had the reveal event with the countdown timer to another countdown timer. Jordan, are you excited to see some of Battlefield?
I am, if for no other reason, kind of almost going off what Tam was just talking about with Halo. It's like Battlefield comes from like this older generation of FPS shooters that have kind of fallen a bit by the wayside in the face of things like Overwatch, Valorant, Titanfall, like games that have changed up what it means to be a first-person shooter. And so I'm looking at Battlefield in a way, I'm like, okay, how have you maybe tried to change up a bit of what you're doing, but still at the same time maintaining that idea of what Battlefield is? This is a big year for first-person shooters. New Battlefield, new Halo, new Call of Duty. Do these big three stick to their guns, or do they change in ways to appeal to a newer crowd? And I think no matter which way you go, you're going to be bit alienating the other side of what you want. Like you either have to appeal to the veteran crowd or the newer crowd, and then you have to try to convince the other side to be like, hey, I know that we're doing ideas that you might not agree with, but we're having a good time over here. Like, give us a chance. And so I'm eager to see what Battlefield has in store, and I'm hoping that it appeals to that old crowd. Michael loves Battlefield. I want this for him. I want a great Battlefield game for him, but at the same time, for it to show something to me where like, okay, Battlefield has never been like my kind of FPS, but of what they're doing, as someone who enjoys games more like Apex Legends and Titanfall 2, things like that, I'm intrigued to try this, and I want to try this, and I'm hopeful that we get to see that today. We'll see.
We're all doing it.
We'll see.
We're all hoping for a good Battlefield for Michael. Briefly, we also know we're gonna see some Far Cry 6. Yes, we saw it, like it had an embargo recently with a look at some gameplay. We had a look at the post-launch plans. I'm not sure what kind of gameplay we're gonna see today. Possibly, if they're doing, I assume they're kind of doing their co-op stuff again. Maybe it's a look at like just an actual just level in motion, but we know we're gonna be seeing Far Cry. In terms of other games, so it's kind of on the Xbox side, it's a bit who knows right now. So Jeff Grubb, industry insider, tweeted out yesterday, do not expect these at Xbox tomorrow. And this list genuinely surprised me because I would have had some of these games down as definite ones to show today. So Avowed, Perfect Dark, Fable, Hellblade 2, there might be a making of video, IO Interactive's Project Dragon, do not expect Everwild or Compulsion's new game. So the reason that I thought some of these games would be absolute shoo-ins is because Xbox, 2-3 years ago now, they bought or acquired, was it like 15 new studios? It was something ridiculous, and they kind of expanded that roster to be over 20 first-party studios making games for Xbox, and now obviously they have all of Bethesda's stuff in there too. They also have this brand new commitment that they spoke about late last week, which was they want to be releasing one new first-party game every 3 months, which, I mean, they kind of also said, temper your expectations that we're not going to hit it the whole time, but still, that is a lot of games. So some of these titles, especially given that they were announced a couple years ago, like Hellblade 2 was Game Awards 2019, I think. Fable we saw a bit last summer, Perfect Dark last summer too. I'm genuinely very surprised that, at least according to Jeff Grubb, they won't be there today. Tam, are you shocked by this at all?
Not entirely. I think that a lot of those games, like the studio acquisitions, they came at a time that Microsoft will probably want to get in there and figure things out for them and give them the opportunity to kind of reassess what those studios are doing and making, and then go from there. So I'm not entirely surprised that they want a little more time before they show that stuff. And also I think that Microsoft is kind of taking this as an opportunity to show off what else they've got going on beyond the stuff that we expect them to have. I would have loved to see Fable a little more. I would have loved to see a bunch of the games that were in that list. Perfect Dark especially, like a lot of those games in that list do feel like they're very, very early. Avowed, Perfect Dark, Fable I don't think is very early given how much we've heard about it, and Everwild and Compulsion's new game feel like that they could be. Interestingly, Forza not in that list, so there's a decent chance that you will see a Forza game.
I will eat my shoe if there is not a Forza today. Like I do not remember the last time Xbox had a press conference and there wasn't a Forza. Like that is their game. That is their like every year,
Yeah, we'll do a Horizon. Oh, I want a Horizon, so
yeah.
Giz it.
Where do you think Horizon could go because I think they're up to 5 now?
I think
they've done Australia, we've done the UK, done America. We did that music festival. Ooh.
It's got to be Asia.
Ooh.
It's got to be Asia. Like that. They lean into the Tokyo Drift vibes, except, blow it out, go to different parts of Asia, and just really, really like tune-up culture is big. Get in there, and I think that there's a lot of mileage in that and a lot of style, and that studio can make it really pop off the screen as well. I think we're due something in that region. I would love to see that.
Yeah, and I mean now that you've invoked Tokyo Drift, has to be scored by the Teriyaki Boys. Jordan, in terms of like other Xbox first party games, do you think we're going to see something like a Gears today? Because 5 ended on a cliffhanger.
I want to say that I think for this E3, coming off the end of the last year that we've had, if yesterday's E3 event is any indication, like 2021 is the year of the indies, not the AAA games, not the big flagpole titles. Like I think we're due more to see something like Psychonauts 2, State of Decay 3, the rumors for a new Plague Tale, games like that showing up at Microsoft conference more so than something like Gears. Now, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to see a new Gears, to see where they go after that, as you said, like cliffhanger that they ended on with Gears 5. But I feel like we have to temper our expectations for this, and that Halo is like Xbox's big thing for their showcase this year, and everything else is kind of AA major indies, 12 minutes, things like that. Smaller games. I think that's what they're going to flesh out their conference mostly with.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I fully anticipate seeing an appearance from Chris Charla, an ID at Xbox, and, you brought up 12 minutes there. But it's, this whole conference is about 90 minutes in length, and it's not just Xbox games. It is the first, big joint Xbox Bethesda conference. So I think it's fair to say we can probably expect a lot from Deathloop. Tam and I got to see Deathloop behind closed doors not too long ago now, about a month ago, and it's looking great. I mean, even though it is a PlayStation 5 game, but it's also kind of strange because this is prime time before the game comes out to put it on a stage. So we know it's coming to PC. I'd be really interested to see if they have any reference to it on stage, because that's kind of, I don't know, fully calling out Sony at that point in time. Do you think we're going to see Deathloop?
Oh yeah, I think it would be wild for them to not show it. I think Microsoft is smart enough to know that they can't throw one of their developers under the bus, even if it is a platform exclusive game for a while. Like, at a certain point, showing that game also is a win for this Arcane. And it also makes Microsoft look good. Like, Microsoft is amazing at playing the paragon of the games industry right now. And that is just the most ultimate paragon move. Like, here's a game from one of our developers that we think looks cool. It's not coming to Xbox initially, but still, look how cool they are. They'll be making stuff for us later as well. And everyone's
the money still goes in their pocket, right? Yeah,
the money still goes in their pocket.
But they don't have to mention that part.
Yeah, I am sure that it's going to end up on Xbox eventually. I think we'll see plenty of it, and it's also just a win for Microsoft, right? In the Hearts and Minds game, showing off a cool game during your press conference isn't gonna result in people umming and ahhing about exclusivity. People are just gonna look back at the conference as a whole and go, "Oh, Deathloop looked really cool," and then anyone that comes up with, "Oh, it's Sony only though," it's just gonna be like, "Yeah, whatever. It still looked cool," and that's a win for a press conference showing. So I hope that they do show it, because they stand only to gain from doing that.
Yeah, I really hope we see more of it today. It's easily one of my most anticipated games of the year. In terms of other Bethesda titles, we're probably going to see something from Fallout 76. We'll probably see something from Elder Scrolls Online. Do we want to talk about Starfield now? Let's just get it out of the way. Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. So announced a good couple of years ago. With hindsight, because I remember at the time P. Hines saying, they're very, very, very early in development. And then, the news a year or so later that Xbox had acquired Bethesda. So clearly one of those moves where it was like, we're going to announce this game that you've all been asking for. Maybe that bumps up our price a little bit and we can get more money when we're being acquired. Who knows? But then, I suppose look at Ubisoft with Beyond Good and Evil 2. They just sort of announced that just to save off a
Yeah.
Vivendi takeover.
Yeah.
So I hope that's not the case. But it's been a good couple of years. Do we think now's the time that we're actually going to see something meaningful? Let's go Starfield first, because that's the kind of big driver. Jordan?
What's meaningful, Lucy? What's a meaningful
Anything beyond a
showing?
bloody logo. Like, don't you give me a PNG and call it reveal.
I would love to see what they're doing with Starfield. And it's one of those things I'm like, it still feels like it's too soon. It still feels too soon. But like you said, it's been years. I think we get some cinematic teaser. I could see something like that. I feel like it's still too soon for gameplay promises on Bethesda's side. But I could totally see them delivering like, here's like a cinematic trailer that gives you a little bit more of the story. Look at all of the other amazing sci-fi RPGs that we're invoking in our story that makes you want to play. Kind of reminds you of Mass Effect, doesn't it? I can totally imagine something like that.
Love the way you brought it around to Mass Effect there. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to see something substantial from Starfield, at least to get a better idea of what that game is beyond the rumors and supposed leaks that have come out over the years. But I'm also, you know, it's 10 years of Skyrim this year, and if you really want to treat yourself, Google image search the Skyrim launch party from 2011, because what a list, what a wild event that was. Like, there's an incredible picture of like Christina Aguilera just giving, like, just not caring at all, just holding a copy of Skyrim. So, but it's the 10th anniversary. We know that Elder Scrolls 6 is in production. Again, Pete Hines did say it's very, very early. Don't hold your hopes. But Tam, do you think now that Xbox and Bethesda are strong together, that we'll see it?
A new Elder Scrolls? No.
No.
I think if we see anything, it will be much in the same vein as what we saw when it was first announced. Something CG that is a few seconds long and just gives us a hint of what it is. I think that they've learned their lesson from showing off things like Elder Scrolls too early, because it kind of commands the conversation above anything else. And I feel like going back one, I think that we might get surprised and see more of Starfield than we expect. Perhaps even
You're
some
mad,
gameplay.
man,
Like
Tam.
I'm just manifesting again here, but like there could be a couple of
Manifesting.
seconds or even a minute of gameplay or something like that. But a cinematic trailer at the very least. But I feel like if Starfield is your thing, if you slide a Elder Scrolls in there, it kind of commands the conversation and the attention over Starfield. But you know, never say never. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see something more of Elder Scrolls. I hope so. My one hope is they do not even mention the name Skyrim, because please stop.
10th anniversary. Time for
Skyrim-
Series
Yeah,
X and
hey,
PS5
what?
ports.
Skyrim
What
has
possible
reached
platform
max
is-
saturation point at this point. Like they
What
cannot,
platform is
no
left
more
for it to
Skyrim.
be put on?
It's
Wait,
on
Tam, where's
Switch.
your...
Are there
Wait.
current gen versions?
I don't
of
have it,
Skyrim?
but if
You can. I mean, you
For
can play it.
PS5,
It's on
you can
Game
play
Pass.
them, yeah.
Yeah. So there's backwards compatible, but there aren't current gen versions of them yet. So yeah, 10th anniversary. Release it
10th
again.
anniversary, maybe.
No,
And you know what? I'd buy it again.
no.
And I would
You've
play
invoked it,
again.
Tam. It's gonna happen.
You've
I think if they're
manifested
going to
it.
do that, just say that it's a free upgrade. If it's a free upgrade, that's how you win. I think that might be a big thing for them. If they're going to do a Skyrim announcement, it should be, hey, Skyrim is coming to the new platforms, and everyone goes, and it's free, and it's an upgrade. If you own it, you already get it. And it's, you know, the Game Pass version will upgrade automatically. And everyone goes, hey, good job. And then
But I mean, at
life
this
goes
point,
on.
who doesn't own Skyrim? Like, they're not gonna make
I
money off
don't.
that because everyone already has it. Well, you don't own Skyrim?
No.
God,
I've somehow
done that?
completely passed that Elder Scrolls by, and I'm like, I feel like it's too late to go back and play it now. I'm
It's
just
never
gonna
too
wait
late.
for
It's a
6.
great game. It's a great game. Other Bethesda titles we might see today. We know Machine Games are working on an Indiana Jones game. Also, I have to mention it because it's so weird to me. So the new Indiana Jones movie is filming here in the UK, and Indiana Jones himself, Harrison Ford, is just up in the northeast of England. So representing, I guess, my neck of the woods. we saw that little teaser from Machine Games last year. Are we expecting to see more of it today? Jordan.
That might be, when you mentioned earlier that's like Halo might be either the thing that starts a conference or the thing that ends it, and Halo might be the big thing that starts it, and there's a huge surprise at the end. I could see a gameplay reveal or like a extended story trailer look at Indiana Jones being a cool closing thing for the conference. I'd buy that. I'm in on that.
I would love to see just what they do, because obviously there have been Indiana Jones games in the past. There was that big cancelled one that everyone was kind of super excited about, and I do wonder at this point if Indiana Jones still has the sort of same start. Like, it's a very well-known, famous franchise. Does it still have the same pull as it did, you know, when everyone was super excited for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? But, you know, I'm very intrigued to see if it kind of also lies into the new. Oh, okay. The Starfield trailer is up on the Washington Post website for more reason. 11th of the 11th, 2022. I'm just gonna, yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it's live now.
Okay.
So we definitely know we're gonna get
I'm
Starfield.
watching this live. It's a 2-minute trailer. Okay, it begins. We're dissect. This is now a Starfield dissection stream. Okay, so we're looking at the moon here from award-winning creators of Skyrim and Fallout 4. A brand new universe, 25 years in the making. Bethesda logo.
Oh dear.
Bethesda Game Studios logo. Oh, you absolutely hate to see this.
I mean, Tam, you might want to check in on News Slack, because as our managing editor, they're asking what we do with this one. It's still up, like, release date, so wow, that's taken a real big surprise out of today. What? Jesus Christ! Yeah, it's the weekend.
Someone's getting talking to.
Yikes!
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a CG trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got it right.
Wow. Yikes. I like how we all got to.
It seems like a very much like
together.
a open. Yeah, it feels like a very open. You're like an adventure in space.
Yeah.
Trying to find some sort of key to unlock something amazing, but sadly, no actual gameplay so far. I'm getting a huge No Man's Sky vibe off of it.
Oh yeah, totally. I was about to say the exact same thing. Like the ship design.
The ship looks very. Yeah, the ship also has like a Star Wars feel going on.
I don't know if we should show it on our stream right now,
No,
so maybe let's cut away from that. Let's shut up.
Probably
no,
not.
Let's not do that. We'll probably get an angry call off of Xbox if we do, but you know, learning about it live.
You hate to see it.
Wow.
You hate to see it. I mean, it's there. The release date is there as well. 11/11/22.
Xbox and PC only, also according to our news Slack.
Yeah, Xbox and PC only. There goes one of the big surprises for Bethesda.
Xbox Series XS specifically. No last gen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, beyond Starfield, what do you guys think we're gonna see today? I mean, what are your big hopes and dreams? We've already had Elden Ring. We've already had Starfield. Jordan, what do you reckon?
Yeah,
Or Tam, you go first.
Yeah, Tam, go for it.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm kind of hoping to see Ghostwire Tokyo. I know that my chances are low for it, but that is a game I'm super excited about seeing. And I hope that Tango shows off the game and Mikami and team show off the game. It's a big one. It's an enigma, and I'm very keen to see what was going on with that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the one that's up in the air for me right now, is where Ghostwire Tokyo has been for a while. You know, we haven't seen it, and that initial trailer had just so much promise. And yeah, I think we saw some of it as well about a year ago, like a second follow-up. And I'm very intrigued. I definitely want to see more of that one. Jordan, what about you?
I want something like absolutely wild. Like way back in the day, Xbox helped BioWare put Mass Effect onto consoles. Would be crazy for the new Mass Effect trailer to debut, or even Dragon Age if BioWare's like, you know what, we don't have anything Mass Effect ready right now, but we do have this new Dragon Age trailer. Do you want to showcase it at your conference?
Wait, I'm gonna have to cut you off. I can do the ear thing. But I also have iOS stuff too. We'll be back here after the Xbox press conference. We'll see you then.
Nice. No! The counter! No! Just flicker end their own life!
又抓到！哇，这一套直铁宝一丝血。
너도 대가리 돼!
Not the first, not the last.
Got it, baby. Woo! Now that's a ride.
Let light frenzy heal!
Let me finish this.
Let light frenzy heal! Not the first, not the last. You're more valuable. That was nasty. Frenzy heal!
Can't do that yet. Let the booze flow! Chug, chug, chug!
Not the first, not the last.
Chug, chug, chug! Ooh, I'm a great shot. Can't do that.
Who says monks have no flourish? Spectacular!
Hi everyone, I'm Ray Kwan, the lead producer of Naraka Playpoint. First, I'm honored to announce that more than 1 million players have wishlisted our game. We're really thankful for your love and support. Naraka Playpoint is a battle royale game with strong action elements. This game provides mighty heroes, diverse weapons, and unlimited parkour system. You can choose to be a sniper, killing enemies from nowhere, or a warrior, facing your opponents in close combats with swords and blades. You can also use breaking hook to wave your way through buildings and mountains. And of course, you can party with your friends. Eliminate your enemies with combo of skills and ultimates. It's what we call unchained multiplayer combat, and you need to unchain your imagination. The Soldier enables you to create your own fighting style. There is also a variety of interactable machinery waiting for your exploration. And don't forget the character customization that lets you to create your unique appearance. In the upcoming beta, we're also adding a new melee weapon, Spear. In China, Spear is called the king of all weapons. And hence, we gave it a brand new mechanism and took inspiration from a lot of martial art movies. We hope that Spear can bring you a fresh experience of action combat. Naraka Playpoint will be globally released on August 12th, and you can pre-order the game right now on multiple PC platforms. Pre-order players will also unlock a new hero and exclusive outfit. After the August launch, we will continue to release new contents and work hard to crack down on hackers and cheaters. We'll try our best to provide players with a clean gaming environment. On June 16th, we will start a one-week beta on PC. Right now, you can wishlist us, download the demo, and enjoy Naraka Play Point.
Oh my goodness, we are here for it. Why are we both clapping? Like, I want to scream. Like, that was, it looks so good. And
You're screaming, I'm drooling.
I know.
I'm drooling over that game.
It looks so fun. And so
Need a napkin
we just enjoyed it so much, we had to bring Golden Boy in.
Yeah.
Because you gonna play this?
Yeah.
How
so
dare you?
I played the first alpha and I was really blown away by it. Like, I feel like one thing that the Battle Royale space was missing was like an awesome melee Battle Royale. Because, you know, it's just a fun, like, I know everyone's like, oh, Battle Royales are like so tried and they're done and done and done. But like, something like this is something we really haven't seen before. Actually got to give a huge shout out to my buddy Genghis Khan, who I saw on Steam. He was playing it, and I was like, dude, what the hell is this? He said, download it, it's super fun. So I went for it, and I spent the entire afternoon just cutting through people nonstop. I had a blast playing it. That's why I'm so hyped up about it.
Well, we are all very jealous of you, by the way. It looks amazing. But how do we think this is going to change the Battle Royale dynamic? You were kind of touching on that a little bit, but want to open it up to everybody.
Yeah, the thing about Battle Royale is like all of them are, or the biggest ones are shooters. So you could like take pot shots, or you can snipe fools, or you can like maybe take some shots, dip out.
Snipe fools, huh?
Yeah, but here with this game, you need to pull up. You need to like. You come through and
let them know who it is.
Yeah, you square up and you gotta fight. And from all the gameplay that we saw, it gets wild because there's like spell casting too. It reminds me of Spellbreak, which is another battle royale that focused on magic and stuff like that. And so and I was also thinking of we were talking about Ultimate Ninja Storm, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Yes,
yeah, because it's super fast and loose. Because I also play For Honor, which is very heavy and very deliberate. But this one's like, nah, just go all out. Yeah, it looks wild.
Absolutely, and just want to draw some attention to the pull-up right now. When will Naraka Blade Point, the demo, start? And yeah, I think we all know.
Everyone
June 16th.
We
were all taking notes. We were like,
this is more like a did you pay attention, children in class?
Did you all pay attention? Okay, we were definitely paying attention.
77% of the audience paid attention.
I definitely want to talk, though. I mean, there's Fortnite, Call of Duty, Warzone, Apex, like that list goes on and on and on. Do we think that Naraka can compete with those titles?
I think absolutely, because people want differentiation. There's this feeling of Battle Royale fatigue right now because it's so much of the same thing. In this game, you can 360 no-scope someone with the brand new spear weapon and then have this like wuxia anime-esque style fight up in the sky just raining down holy hell. It's going to be awesome. Like, I think it's something that the space needs. You have to keep it fresh. You can't just keep adding on other game components to that core Battle Royale mode. It needs to feel fundamentally different, and that's what Naraka looks like from this gameplay demo.
Oh my gosh, look, it's so different.
There have been several other examples of non-shooter Battle Royales that have been successful, right? There's Fall Guys, there's Tetris 99, there was Mario 35, R.I.P. Naraka looks awesome. Mitchell Saltzman previewed it for IGN, and he's our fighting game expert, and he came away impressed. He said the fighting mechanics in Naraka are legit. So I think
love
this
to
game
hear
is going to
that.
be the real deal.
I definitely noticed the grapple hook, the verticality. Talk to me about the mobility mechanics.
Yeah,
Do you think people are going to adapt to that well?
So I think one of the big things for a lot of Battle Royale games is like, when can you disengage from a fight, right?
Yeah.
Fortnite's really good because you have the building mechanic and you can build up, gain height, try and take your opponent who's on the low ground, right? They have to then try and do the same thing, which is why they incorporated like different things like grapple hooks into the game. What the grapple hook mechanic adds, and I said this while we were watching it, any game that has a grapple hook, I'm in in there.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm in there because I just love the freedom of movement that it provides. And when you have like the characters and also it's very stylistic as well, right? Avali, I know you were going nuts about that.
Yeah.
Like stylistically speaking,
100%.
it looks really cool. You feel cool. And I know that this sounds like a hardcore shill for the game, but I'm telling you right now, if you are a competitive player, if you're an esports person, or you're just an individual who likes competing at a high level, I guarantee you'll like that game because I did, and that's my background.
Oh yeah, no, the first thing that I was thinking of when I saw the trailer for the first time, I'm like, okay, cool, so we got the Battle Royale Fortnite elements, but like the combat looks like a faster Blade and Soul, and then all the characters that we see, plussing that character customization option, I'm like, okay, it has the simpability of Genshin Impact, and I'm like, hold on a second, hold on, I'm like, I think all of us are about to jump into it. It's in the dictionary, Golden Boy, look it up, please.
I'll look it up for sure.
But no, it just looks so
Is his
incredible.
picture there? No, I'm kidding.
It should be. It should be.
Sim
Just
for
like,
me, everybody.
it's in the new dictionary copy. But I'm so excited for it. And as you were talking about the parkour ability, being able to jump and fly everywhere, I'm tired of kids being able to outbuild me, right? Like they're so much faster at building the dang stairs up and down, and I just, they shoot me faster. So if there's, some sort of thinking involved in here where I get to parry something and then run away, that's what I'm excited for.
I mean, there's so much I'm excited for. I absolutely love the game design. I love the landscapes.
Yeah.
And that might seem like a softball question, but skins make money, people.
Yeah,
and people
listen.
talk about maps all the time.
This game's got style. They
Yeah.
are going to sell so many damn skins. It is going to be ridiculous. Yo, they are going to be printing money.
Avali said she wanted sparkle skins.
Oh,
if
yes.
Avali gets
Yeah.
Hey.
Sparkle skins. But I mean, think about it. Like, all of the different crossovers we've seen with Battle Royales, like Fortnite is the big one. If we get any, like, type of anime IP crossovers
Don't
into this
even,
game.
girl.
Oh, my God.
Don't even.
I'm broke. I'm broke. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we will be broke for sure. Okay, we got 30 seconds left. Which class are we picking? I know you're crowd control, right?
No, I'm just going to get up
Really?
there. I'm a very
You told me
aggressive
crowd control
player.
rehearsal.
No.
Lied to
That's
me.
classic misdirection, so I can get up in there with the spear.
Yes, the spear. Spear's exciting.
Okay.
Spear's exciting.
I just want to jump around and cause chaos and confusion. So whatever that is.
So like where you are right now.
Big sword for me. Big sword for me.
Oh yeah, big sword, big sword.
Okay.
Gauntlet, so y'all can catch these hands.
I'll do the archery just to be something different.
I like that.
I like it. Okay. Well, we can't wait to get our hands on Naraka Blade Point. But real fast, we got to take a quick break. But do not go anywhere. We'll be previewing Square Enix and Warner Brothers games Back for Blood coming up as E3 2021 continues.
There's videos that I can specifically remember that I can't believe I did. I feel like I remember the most regrettable ones the most. When I lived like a sim for 24 hours. For anybody who hasn't seen it, it's you let your sim live how it would in a game, and then you have to replicate it. But because sim time is so quick, you end up standing around and doing something for an hour that should take you like 10 minutes. Now, I did it all day. You can slowly see me just deteriorating as it goes. So I'm pretty proud that I stuck that one out.
Hey E3, it's Posty. I just want to say hi and hope everybody's doing good and staying safe out there. I'm so excited to see the new announcements for some games, and hopefully we get to see a little something about Elder Scrolls 6. Maybe, I don't know, but I hope everybody's having a great time, and hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to E3 live from Los Angeles, California. And hey, if you feel like some sweet merch, why don't you check out our limited edition gear at e3expo.com/shop. It's right here.
All here.
I did a presentation yesterday that Mid-Max
You did.
kids really liked, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back. If you remember, I was saying, doesn't that there Tom Cruise have a new, which camera around? Doesn't Tom Cruise have a new movie coming out where he wears a bomber jacket?
Yeah.
You could wear this at the theater.
Yeah.
And then you'd get up to leave and you'd go like this and they go, wait, are you one of those pilots like we saw in the movie? And you go, no.
Zone.
I
don't know.
I'm an E3. And they'd say, what that? And you'd be like, Electronic Entertainment Expo. And they'd be like, oh, you went there? And you'd be like, well, no, it was a pandemic year, but I bought it on e3expo.com/shop.
High quality. No kidding. It actually is quite nice.
It is really nice, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna steal one. Also, the hat.
The dad hat. Hey, kids. Aren't you a dad? You're gonna have to do some yard work at some point, get underneath the house.
Hey, kids, aren't you a dad? All right, we'll move on. That's what you just said. All right, I'll tighten it up. I'll tighten it up, Greg.
Square Enix presents is later today, and we'll get a world premiere. A world premiere from Eidos Montreal, plus an update on Babylon's Fall. Details on the Black Panther expansion.
I'm on board, Ash. I'm on board.
And a first look at Life is Strange Remastered. Golden Boy, what are you most excited about? I'm glad you asked, Greg. Ladies and gentlemen, in September 2020, a game called Marvel's Avengers came out, and y'all enjoyed it for like a week, but this guy enjoys it to this day, and this is my day, all right? This is the day where I take it back. Black Panther, War for Wakanda. How excited are you, huh? See him out there, Wakanda forever, let's go.
Anything Black Panther related, I'm totally in.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the character way back in the day, so I'm cool with that, Greg.
Okay,
I'm
good. Yeah.
I just want to know what else they're bringing to the table.
Sure, of course.
All right, that's an important thing.
I mean, you know, fun and games aside, I did put up a video back when they were getting ready for their last Avengers thing that was, hey, Avengers isn't in a good place. I enjoy the gameplay. I want more out of it. What can they do? And hopefully War for Wakanda is going to be that, right? We need endgame content. We need things to be going on. We need raids. We need 150 power level stuff.
Yeah.
I need a reason to turn this on again every day, and we haven't had that for a while. And they've been better about their roadmap, but today's the big test of what they actually have.
Yeah, and another game that I'm very much looking forward to hearing more about because I don't know much about it, for me personally, is Babylon's Fall. Michael's been going nuts about that game.
Oh, my God.
I kind of am going into this one super cold, so I want to be dazzled. Platinum's an incredible dev. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to bring the heat, and I think it's going to be really exciting. I think Square Enix is going to have a pretty decent show, and I'm looking forward to it.
100%, yeah, I can't wait to see what they have up their sleeve, right? Because the other big thing that we were just talking about, well, first off, full stop on the unannounced game. Life is Strange, huge fan. I want to see more about the brand new one that's coming out in September. But then to kick it back into Rumor Patrol, right? Like, Eidos Montreal, all right? We've known the rumor forever of what you're working on. You're the Deus Ex team. There's been rumors you're working on something new.
Yeah.
Is it true? Is it today we see it? I mean, we see something from them today. There's been this conversation you've continued to have of like, it is interesting because obviously there's rumors of what's coming, right? Maybe a Marvel property. But it is also a great time where Deus Ex could thrive in this day and age.
This is true. You know, I know that like Deus Ex as a franchise is one that's kind of flown under the radar, but it has been for the longest time one of my like hallmark games. Like it was like a huge part of my I mean, Deus Ex Conspiracy on the PlayStation 2, I'd have played that like a million times. I love that game so much. Human Revolution, another great game, or Human Revolution, excuse me, Mankind Divided. You know, they just make great games. And I think with Cyberpunk and the hype around that, you know, neo-future kind of thingamajigam, the thematics that we're seeing now, it's a great time to do something like that, right? Like that futuristic city appeal. I think Deus Ex could really nail it, but I don't think we're going to get that today, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine.
Well,
just don't let me down next year.
It's what I've talked about before, especially as a comic book dork, you know what I mean? What I'm excited for is seeing something, I take this like Insomniac, where I think Insomniac is an amazing studio. Obviously, everybody knows it now, but Spider-Man really put them on another level in terms of video game pop culture. And I think as we look at Square Enix Montreal, or Eidos Montreal here, right, the same could be applied here, where Deus Ex games were great, and the people who loved them.
Yes.
But now if they work on a bigger property, a Marvel title, let's see what happens.
That's true. That's true. That'd be helpful.
That's what I hope it is. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, what are you excited for? Hashtag E3 2021. You can get right in there. You can see what's up and have a great time.
Get in there, baby.
Now, following Square, they want me to read the teleprompter. This is another one. Look at right here, right here. We don't need to.
I don't need to.
Following Square is WB Games Back
for Blood.
Oh my God, Golden Boy, we can't wait. I played that alpha and I was like, I'm done. Yep, the people who made Left 4 Dead are back with a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. And it's amazing, and it's got a deck building thing, so every time I play the campaigns, they're gonna be different campaigns. Let's go.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to preview this game with the WB Games crew, and they were all amazing, all wonderful people. And I got there immediately, and I was just like, this is everything that I want. It is genuine excitement for a game that's ridiculous, that knows exactly what it is, and it plays right into it. Even from the name, they know what they are, they know what they're doing, and yeah, that alpha was fantastic, right? You know, I remember talking to the WB Games crew and saying, like, me and my best friends, like, we love games like this because they like yelling at each other and, you know, cursing each other out and having a good time, because that's just what friends do.
That's what friends do.
And they said this is literally that. It's exactly what you want out of a co-op shooter. They added some new set pieces, different elements to the game.
New kinds of monsters,
new
right?
New kinds of monsters, yeah. So they're bringing something new to the table, but they're doing enough of the same that it just feels right.
Yeah.
And that, at the end of the day, is all you want out of a game like this.
100%. You know, yesterday there was comparisons drawn when we were talking about Rainbow Six Extraction, not quarantine anymore. Rainbow Six Extraction, right? And I was watching that, and it was the conversation that was happening on the media stage, where there's going to be those two types of people who want the tactical. Let's go in there. Let's plan how we're taking out this hive, right? And then for me, it was definitely like, I want the Back for Blood. Cool, I have an Uzi, now I have a shotgun. It doesn't matter. I'm having a great time.
Exactly.
Shooting everything up.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I'm so excited for it. We're going to see that later on today. But also another thing we're getting is a PC gaming show, because it's coming to town, baby. And we know one thing, we are going to get an entertaining look at some of the best news releases, including indie releases coming to a PC near you. They've got 39 game trailers, Greg. I just saw that pop up on the read there. I didn't even know that. That's wild.
Hey, that's what people usually want in E3 is game trailers. It's
game trailers, dude.
They love to see things that they might be playing. Yeah, so that's incredibly exciting, right?
Yeah, and us, and our embrace.
And us, that's right.
He can do that because I'm short, you know. But I'm looking forward to the PC gaming show.
See, I'll do it for you, too.
We did it, guys.
Get your screenshots right now.
This is freaking friendship right here.
Hashtag E3 2021.
Yeah, there it is.
People don't like this bit. They do not like this bit.
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing, Greg.
We're talking games.
We're talking games.
That's what I am notoriously not a PC gamer, right? I am a simple person. I like my console to plug in and go. But what I love about the PC gaming show every year is the diversity of games you get.
Very true.
Right? And of course, Sean Plott always shows up to host it and does a great job. He's funny as well. DevBot's always being goofy. But we get to go in there and we get to see a whole bunch of different stuff that will maybe come to console one day or will be the game that inspires me to turn on my PC.
Very true. And that is the beauty of PC gaming. There's so much variety that's out there. You know, you could go multiple platforms. You could do whatever you want to do. And by the way, I just got informed.
Stop talking about PC! Stop talking about PC!
It's okay because Microsoft also supports PCs as well. Oh, crap.
Damon, this isn't a drill. It's happening.
Did we get Halo?
Oh, God. Take me. I need a 12 minutes release date, Phil, all right? I need that. I need Starfield.
Take me, Phil.
We need to see Halo. Don't do this to him again. Tim Schafer, make Psychonauts come out today. It's a simple request,
Greg,
all right?
the lighting can't get there, Greg.
It doesn't matter.
The lighting can't get there.
Most people are listening to this as a podcast.
Philip Elizabeth Spencer.
39 seconds.
Philip Elizabeth Spencer, if you're watching this right now, just know, man, just bring the thunder, brother. That's all I want. Just bring the thunder, dude. Give me the chief.
I don't think Phil's watching this right now. He's probably getting ready for that over there.
Oh,
my gosh.
That's his nickname, though. Yeah. Well, let's do it, Greg.
Okay, fine, everybody. Now is the moment Master Chief and Golden Boy have been waiting for. Here's the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase.
"20 years. That's how long Xbox has been with us. And like you, this is a moment I always look forward to. I love seeing the new games, crossing my fingers for my favorites to return, hoping for a few surprises. Most of all, though, I love seeing everyone around the world come together and celebrate what games mean to all of us. And I think, this past year, they've meant even more. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for the support you give us and one another." Xbox is turning 20. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the friendships we've had that whole time. At Bethesda, we believe video games do one thing better than anything else. They transport us. Through art and technology, there's real magic when you step into a new world and can make it your own. We've traveled the worlds of Elder Scrolls, of Fallout, and now, for the first time in over 25 years, we're creating a new universe with Starfield. Set hundreds of years in our future, it's an epic about hope, our shared humanity, and answering our greatest mystery. It's a game we've dreamt of playing, and it wasn't until now that we have the hardware, the technology, and the team who's hard at work at home to make that dream a reality. We're excited to finally share our first in-game teaser and something to look forward to.
Constellation Starship Frontier, we have you on scanners. Performing remote systems check. Helium-3 tanks check. Seals are intact. We're still go.
They say, the wonder is, not that the field of stars is so vast, but that we have measured it. You're part of Constellation now. Part of our family. What you've found, it's the key to unlocking everything.
We reach your constellation.
This is all we've been working towards.
Jemison route looks good.
We've come to the beginning of humanity's final journey.
Prepare for departure. Graviton loop array full. Check. Your space lane is clear.
That's why we're here.
Main engines go. Ignition.
To discover what's out there.
Good luck, Constellation. You are go for launch.
Awesome to share with you for the very first time one of the most anticipated games in the world from Todd Howard and the team at Bethesda Game Studios. A groundbreaking game, and yes, it's exclusive. Welcome to the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. I am so excited and proud to be here today celebrating games, because although it's been an incredibly tough year, I am grateful that games have been such an important source of joy and connection. We are committed to forging the next era of gaming, conjuring worlds never before possible, unlocking play across all devices, and delivering the power of games to everyone. And now, we get to share that quest with Bethesda, not just as partners, but as one team, united in bringing the very best games to more people everywhere. So today, we get to reveal more of what's to come. We have an amazing show, 30 titles, 27 in Xbox Game Pass, and of course, every single console title you'll see today is optimized for Xbox Series X and S, offering next-gen performance, speed, and features. We get to work with the best studios on Earth. Next is something truly riveting. The latest entry in the haunting and evocative franchise created by GSC Game World, Stalker 2. Coming first to Xbox Series consoles and PC. This will be a true next-gen experience, targeting 4K resolution and ray tracing. Let's take a look at what you'll get to play when it launches next year.
Ля как шпарит.
Ну, чё там?
Готово.
Ну и пошли они нахрен.
Спасибо тебе. Ты многим сталкерам жизнь спас.
Ну, давай, малюй картину маслом. Вот поэтому я ни в какие разборки и не лезу. Не хочу пулю поймать.
Ну, не знаю. Между аномалией и маслиной я уж лучше пулю выберу.
Вот ты говоришь, а я прям вижу красоту эту. Не первый год в зоне, вроде примелькалась уже, а каждый день удивляет.
Зона надоесть не может. Говорят, ты знаешь, где вход в фундамент.
Узнаешь мотив? Слышал? Вот это культура! А ты одно и то же по кругу лобаешь.
Сам же просишь. У меня музучилище, если что.
О, месье, прошу прощения. Может, вам к ученым? Профессура. Они вам лабораторию найдут.
Да пошел ты.
Зря ты так с друзьями. Ты же его на вылазки таскаешь.
Чего-чего, а дружбы в зоне я точно не встречал.
Это верно.
Он мучился?
Нет.
Это хорошо. Он этого не заслужил.
А пулю заслужил. Жаль, что ты так с ним поступил.
Мне тоже. Считаешь, я не думал, как обойтись без его смерти? Она не могла быть свободна, пока он жил. Зато теперь посмотри на нее. Нет, Скиф, я не отдам ее никому. Зона дала мне жизнь, новую жизнь. Жизнь, которую я готов вернуть, если потребуется. Я буду защищать ее. Всегда.
Похоже, пора.
И куда ты теперь?
В Припять. Нужно с ним поговорить.
Удачной охоты, сталкер.
surviving here. Rebuilding.
Surviving's not enough. We've got to fight.
No, we don't need to do anything. All right, when was the last time you saw written in any numbers?
All of my best friends like to go and get up, and they talk about all the lies they never got to.
Hang in there, Holly.
Get high with your best friends.
No rest for the wicked.
Let's go.
Through here. Come on.
God, I love Mondays. Another day in paradise.
Just like on the map.
Home run!
Get high with your best friend.
Buckle up, buttercups.
We've got one shot. Let's make it count.
Over here!
In the morning you go gunning for the man who stole your water, and you will fight till he is done. But they catch you at the border, and the mourners are all singing as they drag you by your feet. But the hangman isn't hanging, and they put you on the street. Yeah, you go back, Jack, do it again. Wheel turning round and round. You go back, Jack, do it again.
An ill wind blows from beyond the horizon. A new danger is coming on the tides. And the one who might stop this ruin, trapped for all forever in the sea of the damned. Now to save the pirate life, you must start by saving the life of one.
Oh, didn't realize we had company. Captain Jack Sparrow. But I suspect you already knew that.
Because of the treasure Jack stole, a darkness followed him here. And if it's not stopped, this world will sink into shadow.
This sea holds many secrets.
Ah, a new body at last.
All I can do is show you the way.
From what I hear of this so-called Sea of Thieves, it's nothing but cursed crews, bloodthirsty mermaids, a legion of dead, angry pirates, Oh, yes. And now, one Davy Jones. Well, I believe that now is the perfect time to use these cannons.
A world without the eternal abyss. Is a world that refuses to face the truth. Nothing lasts forever. Destroy that!
I don't suppose, by chance, there's a second one of those? The Sea of Thieves, eh? Bring me that horizon.
Hey, how's it going?
Let's do this!
Reputation is everything. If a Yakuza shows weakness, he's done.
Time to call a friend! Order up!
What the?
Happy birthday!
Attention all squads. The Russian troops are falling back. Do whatever you can to secure the sector. Copy that. We push them back, but not far enough. Do not let them regroup.
So, how was your day?
Oh, you know.
I have something to share.
When is this, my birthday?
We're having a baby.
Police, you're under arrest for your father's murder 8 years ago. What's going on? Shut up! You know what this is.
You've been lying to me all this time?
I should never have told you.
I'm out of patience.
What? I know I say this a lot, but I love you.
I say this a lot too, but back at you.
Approaching the mother load. I can't believe I'm really here. Psychonauts headquarters. Look at all these gadgets.
The mind is the final frontier of humanity.
I'm ready for anything.
Time for justice!
The fate of the free-thinking world is in your hands.
I'm afraid that means the dead letter office for you.
The mission is falling apart. A psychonaut must always remember how to roll with it. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
This is a mission about the fate of the world. Can you do that?
Yes, if I can find some bacon.
I'm going to ignore that last part.
This is usually the moment when I say hello and welcome to the Bethesda E3 showcase. We love that we can share the stage with Xbox this year, and whether you've known Bethesda for 35 years or are just getting to know us, we couldn't be happier to bring you the latest on your favorite games. We started this showcase with my good friend Todd Howard, who gave you a first look at Starfield. Along with Bethesda Game Studios, all of our teams are continuing to work on the projects that have been in development since well before we joined the Xbox family. So rest assured, the games you've been expecting and hoping for are still in the works. And today, we're bringing 10 more titles to Game Pass for a total of 30 Bethesda games. That includes several id Software games, like the award-winning Doom Eternal. If you're looking for another reason to play it, Doom Eternal will be optimized for Xbox Series X and S on June 29th. Powered by id Tech, this next-gen upgrade will be free for everyone who owns Doom Eternal. And on Series X, it will offer improved visuals at 60 FPS with ray tracing, a 4K mode, and an optional performance mode up to 120 FPS. Or maybe you're in the mood for an RPG, like Skyrim, which marks its 10th anniversary this November. We can't celebrate it without you, so share your favorite Skyrim memories, stories, artwork, and more on Skyrim10.com. Or explore an ever-changing post-apocalyptic wasteland in Fallout 76. Everything you love about Fallout games: custom camp building, rich storylines, warring factions, unique characters, places to discover, you'll find it all here. In fact, Fallout 76 is now one of the most popular games on Game Pass thanks to an incredibly welcoming and collaborative community. Here's a look at what's coming next in Fallout 76.
Brotherhood of Steel are the guardians of human civilization. Fort Atlas is safe. It came at a great cost.
The Brotherhood must stand united. The super mutant threat takes priority. This proves more than anything the need for our justice.
You're splitting our forces, Shin. The most important thing is finding everyone that has gone missing and returning them home.
So it comes to this. I thought you understood what that insignia meant. You are no paladin of the Brotherhood.
I set this plan in motion, and I am the only one who can stop it.
The Brotherhood of Steel must protect the future of Appalachia and of the world. Your righteous crusade has gone too far.
While it may seem that we are fractured, I believe that we are now stronger than ever. This is a choice that can never be undone.
What the hell was that? Expedition Squad Delta, report. Over. Squad Delta, what's going on out there? Come on. This isn't funny. I know you can hear me.
The Wasteland isn't the only open-world playground with an amazing community. The Elder Scrolls Online from ZeniMax Online Studios has now surpassed 18 million players and shows no signs of slowing down. Right now, our players are enjoying the new Blackwood chapter, part of the Gates of Oblivion year-long adventure. We've got a lot more to come in ESO, including the conclusion to this epic story later this fall with ESO Deadlands. And with the release of ESO Console Enhanced this Tuesday, the game will deliver a true native experience optimized for the Series X and S.
It's a new world with new rules. Now, nothing is off the table. Winning this battle will take a new breed of fighter. Wait.
try and stop me.
This holiday marks the 20th anniversary of Xbox and the 20th anniversary of Halo. To our millions of passionate fans, thank you.
We wouldn't be here without all of you.
Our goal has always been to bring players together, and for the first time, we're thrilled to offer our entire multiplayer experience to all players across Xbox and PC with no barriers. Halo Infinite Multiplayer will be free to play and invite more of you than ever before to become a Spartan hero. I'm excited to be here with Joseph Staten, the creative director of Halo Infinite. From helping craft the original Halo Combat Evolved to leading the fan favorite Halo 3 ODST, Joseph is a Halo visionary. It is so great to have him back with Halo.
Thank you, Bonnie. And hey, everybody. For us, and I hope many of you, Halo has always been about heroism and wonder, about fighting to keep humanity safe against impossible odds in a beautiful and mysterious sci-fi world. This is just one part of the Zeta Halo ring, the largest, most wide-open environment we've ever built, and we can't wait for you to explore it. The heart of Halo is Spartan 117, the Master Chief. In the next chapter of the Chief's story, you'll face his greatest challenge yet, but you're not alone in the fight.
Oh, the main batteries are shut down. We're stuck out here. You have one bullet against an entire army. What can you do on your own?
I told you. It's enough.
So I see.
I need you to understand. There's not much time. If you knew how you were going to die, you knew. How would you live your life differently?
Where is Cortana?
The rogue AI known as Cortana is gone. She's been deleted.
How? By you?
Of course not. Did you hit your head or something? Don't you remember? My instructions were to enter this installation, imitate Cortana, and lock her down for retrieval. Yours were to take her back to the Infinity for deletion. So if it wasn't you... Okay, then. There's something else. On successful deployment, my deletion routine was supposed to complete. Still here.
Good.
Good.
Something stopped your deletion. We need to find out why.
But this wasn't the mission.
The missions changed. They always do.
Are you sure?
Of course, you can't have a Halo game without multiplayer. And on Xbox Series X, you'll be able to enjoy Infinite's multiplayer action at up to 120 frames per second. Finally, I'm very happy to announce that Halo Infinite's first free-to-play multiplayer season and Infinite's story-driven campaign will launch together this holiday.
A new day is upon us. A new generation built to fight. Together, we are unstoppable. Are you ready?
No scope. Big shot. Killing spree. Double kill.
Hello, let's do some damage.
Claim the enemy flag. Return it to base. Ordnance drop inbound. The flag is ours. Please call at your earliest convenience.
Now, show me what you can do.
Evil has survived. A dark figure wanders in the east. He must be stopped at all costs.
You're too late. This may be our darkest hour, but it will be your greatest moment.
From all of us. But he's my brother, and I...
It rings every hour, señor presidente.
Hola, fascista.
I recognize that voice. Let me ask you a question. When I am dead and Yara is burning, what exactly is your plan? Hold hands, sing songs around the fire?
Sure, I know just the song.
Time you learn about resolver, Danny. To take down Castillo, a guerrilla needs the right tool for the right job.
Keep talking.
It's a stealth operation. I got you covered. Taking out a high-value target? I have just what you need. You wanna blow shit up? Juan Cortez at your service. Everyone in Yara saw that shit. What? Wait a second. Who brought the rooster? Hey, whatever you need to get the job done, Danny.
Next time I see you, I want to play with that crazy backpack here.
Resolver, Juan.
So do I.
foam punch.
Welcome back to Shred-ageddon. Here's a new trick. Let's go. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is really good. Holy sluthering whipple.
In the first year of Grounded, millions of players kept busy. with crafting, fighting, the pond, ziplining, flying things. Now, to celebrate, we present the Shroom and Doom update. It gives the people what they've been asking for. Like sitting. No, seriously, a lot of people want to sit. Pets for when you get sick of your human companions. And of course, mushrooms. But not those kinds. We've also got something that literally no one was asking for. The Brood Mother. She's so terrifying. You should probably turn on arachnophobia mode. Oh, even her blob scares the shit out of us. Go big. Or never go home. Oh, and it looks like we added achievements too. Nice.
You have shown an aptitude for applying lethal solutions to conflicted situations. We wish to test your abilities.
History is all around us. Those who made it have never been forgotten. Their daring choices echo across time, turning land into kingdoms and mortals into legends. If history was in your hands, what would you build? you go? What will you be remembered for?
We begin by hearing an old, wise-sounding voice. And we see a quiet, peaceful setting. This will make our game seem big and important. Now, something must break the serenity. Will this creature be in the game? No. Say goodbye to it forever. Suddenly, and for no reason, people running. These pointless slow-motion shots make everything seem cool and should bolster pre-sale numbers. That wah sound can mean only one thing. We must gaze over an epic shot of a world, and there should be lens flares. Now we see our hero, but only their silhouette, because the developers haven't finished the design, or finished the story, or finished any gameplay that's actually ready to show. In fact, the only thing they have finished is the title.
right now. Tell me what you want right now. You could get it. Yeah. Well, you can get it. Yeah, you can get it.
Hello, I'm Mike Brown, Creative Director at Playground Games, and I can't wait to show you what we've been working on. Horizon is known for fun, freedom, and beauty. This year, the Horizon Festival arrives in beautiful, diverse Mexico. This is the largest and most diverse open world ever in a Forza Horizon game. And there is no better car to explore it than the stunning AMG Project One Forza Edition. Rendered in unparalleled detail and with ray tracing in Forza Vista, thanks to the power of the Xbox Series consoles. I've invited along some of the team to help give you a taste of some of the amazing content that's waiting for you in Forza Horizon 5. Please welcome Bill, Maddie, Sierra, and Don from the Forza team.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey, everyone.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
And we also have Abraham with us as well. He's one of the talented actors who will be appearing in the game.
Bienvenidos a Mexico. I can't wait to show you what we've been working on.
We begin in the rainforest on an expedition. This is a new campaign mode in which you set out on an adventurous journey across Mexico to explore new locations and discover places for the festival to expand.
I'm on the river now. We're getting close.
There you are. How's the expedition going?
I'm racing a car through the Mexican jungle, Rami. Doesn't get much better than this. I can see some ruins up ahead.
Bienvenida Alpsmal. Look out for the flamingos! This city is still a jewel of Mayan architecture.
That's a peek at our adventurous campaign. But Forza Horizon has always been a game that's best enjoyed with others. Let's go and see what some of our other players are up to. The Xbox Series consoles allow us to capture every last detail, right down to the individual needles on these cholla cactus. The scene looks real, but there are no tricks. This is in-game. Maddie is behind the wheel of the AMG Project One Forza Edition in Mexico's lush, living desert. The perfect place to meet up with friends and head out for a drive. Thanks to the next generation of our Horizon Live servers, everyone else we see here are real players. And it looks like Maddie has been joined by some other members of the Forza team. Let's leave Maddie for a moment and head out to the coast and meet Don. Don is already on the move, exploring this idyllic seaside town. This is a recreation of Mexico that is honest, authentic, and filled with love. Speaking of, hold up, Don.
Oh, hey, what's up?
This is a mural by Mexican artist Farid Rueda. Just one of the many beautiful, faithful pieces of Mexico you'll find all over Forza Horizon 5. While Don drives down to the beach, we'll jump over to the Gran Caldera volcano. Check out this geology detail, implemented with precision accuracy using photogrammetry data captured on location atop an active Mexican volcano. The entire world has been recreated at this level of detail. And here's Sierra in her favorite off-road buggy. The volcano Sierra and friends are exploring is the highest point ever in a Horizon game. And thanks to the power of the Xbox Series consoles, from up here we can see for miles in every direction. In the distance, we can just about make out Guanajuato. Let's take a closer look. Guanajuato is one of the most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. It's a colourful, undulating city full of vibrant architecture. It even has a sprawling network of tunnels. And these twisting, turning, overlapping streets mean that as well as looking good, it plays great too. As we see here, as Don is challenged in Horizon's open-world battle royale, The Eliminator. While Don tries to win that race, the rest of our players are still out exploring this diverse open world. Let's head north to the canyon. The Horizon series is known for its uplifting beauty, and using our unique HDR camera rig, we captured 24-hour shoots of real Mexican skies at 12K resolution. And thanks to the Xbox Series consoles, these photorealistic skies result in lifelike lighting that dynamically changes every frame, making you feel like you're really there. Here's Maddie again. She's joined by Abraham and some other members of the team. Our players are using Forza Link, the new AI assistant that intelligently tracks the status of you and the people you meet online, and then helps you link up and play together. We'll now head deep into the rainforest and rejoin Bill and the rest of our players. Here we see our new volumetric lighting system filling the scene with God rays as the sunlight dapples through the dense rainforest. A Horizon arcade minigame is about to start. Forza Link knows that Bill loves minigames, so it intelligently prompts Sierra to invite Bill. Bill accepts, and they're seamlessly linked together with their GPS route set. With that Horizon arcade minigame starting soon, all of our players are coming together. This minigame is called Piñata Pop, signaled by the Horizon cargo plane dropping a payload of piñatas.
Ooh, over this way.
Gotta catch up to you guys.
Our players now have to work together to find and pop as many as they can.
Okay, go up here to the left. There's loads along the main road.
Here I go.
I'll take a look through the bushes here.
There's some between the houses.
Oh, there's a couple more over here.
Sweet.
While the team grab those last few piñatas, we're going over to the stadium because I have one more thing to show you. This is Events Lab, the incredible new toolset that allows you to create your own races, game modes, and gameplay experiences. You customize everything, right down to the fundamental rules of the game. Forza Horizon 5 is the largest, most fun, and most beautiful open world we've ever built. And it will truly be an astounding showcase for the Xbox Series consoles when it comes to Xbox Game Pass this November 9th. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in Mexico later this year.
Team Xbox is on a mission to bring the joy and community of gaming to everyone on the planet. That's why you, the gamer, are at the center of everything we do. Today, we showed you 30 games. 27 of them will be available on Xbox Game Pass. Now, through the end of the year, you can look forward to back-to-back monthly releases landing day one on Game Pass, led by 5 new titles from Xbox Game Studios, as well as highly anticipated games like Back 4 Blood, 12 Minutes, and The Ascent. And as we look ahead to next year, I'm inspired by the creativity of Bethesda and Xbox Game Studios. We showed you the highly anticipated RPG Starfield coming exclusively to Xbox. But we also have some of the industry's best RPG storytellers working on Avowed, Fable, The Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, The Outer Worlds 2, and Elder Scrolls 6. We unveiled the stunning multiplayer mode for the world's most beloved shooter in Halo Infinite, adding to the roster of iconic Xbox shooters alongside Wolfenstein, Gears of War, Perfect Dark, and Doom. We premiered the most epic open-world racing game, Forza Horizon 5, bringing you a vibrant and authentic depiction of Mexico in a game built from the ground up for next gen, while the team at Turn 10 is hard at work on the next Forza Motorsport. Our growing family of 23 studios is devoted to advancing the medium we all love. Xbox has been here for 20 years, and that's because of you, our team strives to make Xbox a place where you'll find the greatest games, the most dedicated developers, and the most passionate community. Together, we all make Xbox the best place to play. Before I go, there's one more thing. Take a look at this brand new original game from the Arcane team at Bethesda, the studio that created Prey and Dishonored. Arcane created something new for them, an open-world immersive shooter that you can play alone or with your friends. And like Starfield, this game will be an Xbox exclusive.
Pobre bribón. I'm gonna have to take you apart again. Hey, Dove, anything interesting?
This is 2 and 25 centimeters, dramatically elongated maxillary cousin. Go on, make yourself useful.
So, that was fun, right?
That's your cue, mate.
Sleep tight.
You know what this reminds me of? My time in the Himalayas.
Later, Dad.
You think they can't kill you anytime they want?
Hey, asshole! How do we always get into this shit?
Welcome to Truth Seeker. In the field in Redfall, Massachusetts. Behind me, we are witnessing clear signs of cult activity as the locals engage.
Really hope the video was worth it.
Everybody, fall back! People need to know what happened.
Thank you, Layla. You're the best. Oh, Jacob, don't even mention it. Where's the other one? Where'd it go?
Give me a taste, bloodbag.
Bloody hell.
Taste this, cabrona!
Watching you.
Ow! Jacob, there's something.
Thump goes the rabbit's hole.
Oh, shit. Dev's gonna love this one. You better have a plan, Jacob.
Don't miss.
Don't touch me!
Look! A new one!
Primo, peleate! Go, go!
You can't break blood trends. It's only just begun.
I think there's vampire in this.
Really? What does it taste like? Be specific.
Like blood and death. And strawberry.
Sun's coming up. Let's keep moving.
Let's keep moving.
Sure thing, Edgar Allan Bro.
That's a good one.
Do you think things will ever go back to normal?
Would you want to go back to normal?
Not if I still have to pay my student loans.
If there is wonder, that place in our dreams, we can disappear into a world beyond.
Bring me that horizon.
If we can imagine the new words we can fall into the
And welcome back to GameSpot's coverage of E3 2021. You're here for the Xbox and Bethesda post-show. I'm Lucy James, joined once again by Timur Hussein.
Hello.
And Jordan Ramey.
Heyo.
All right, lads, what do we think of that one? Jordan, I'll come to you first.
That's probably like the best E3 that Xbox has had in a really long time. And granted, I guess it wasn't like completely Xbox, like it was very clearly, here's Xbox and Bethesda games. But that was a solid conference. It was very well paced. We got some gameplay for some games thrown in there. It was mostly cinematics, probably a little bit more cinematics than I would have liked. But it definitely seems that Xbox is going to address the issue it kind of had going into Series X, Series S, where it was like they just didn't have many console exclusives in comparison to PlayStation coming out of the gate with Miles Morales and then Destruction All-Stars and Returnal, Ratchet and Clank. But starting this holiday season, if all these games are actually hitting their dates from holiday season all throughout 2022, Xbox, with the help of Bethesda, has a lot of titles in the pipeline, a lot of console exclusives coming their way, and that's exciting. That's really cool. It's awesome to be an Xbox fan again.
Yeah, I mean, even just looking, someone just dropped into Slack, you know, you've got Redfall, Starfield, Forza Motorsport 8, and then everything else that they announced, and those are just kind of like the big hitters that were announced to be coming to Xbox in 2022. And like, God, if you were one of those people who were like, Xbox got no games, then I think we might have watched a very different press conference. Tam, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I think it was pretty much exactly what Xbox needed right now. And obviously, there were some conspicuous absences, Fable and the like. But I think everything of Avowed, all that other kind of stuff. I think the messaging around that, or the lack of messaging, reading between the lines is that stuff isn't coming out next year. It's coming out the year after that. That's when they'll start talking about it. Nevertheless, everything that they've shown so far has been pretty diverse. It's been a lot of exciting things, and most importantly, the real winner here was Game Pass. If you need an excuse to subscribe to Game Pass, this is the best hour and a half, 2 hour long advert for Game Pass that has ever existed. Everything from massive AAA games like Starfield to smaller indie games that are on the way there, and you know that is a incredibly compelling case made for not only getting an Xbox, whether it's a Series S or an X, but also signing up for Game Pass. And from Microsoft's perspective, not only have they succeeded in showing off the things that they are working on, but also giving the people who own Xboxes and are subscribed to Game Pass a reason to continue and feel good about what they have, but also made a compelling pitch to people who don't have an Xbox, any flavor of it, and don't have a Game Pass subscription. And if you're one of those people who's on PC, you're also in the same boat where you're probably thinking, maybe I should get a Game Pass PC subscription because a lot of that stuff is probably going to show up there. So like that is a rare 10 out of 10 press conference for me, I think.
Wow, 10 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, I really enjoyed it. I think, like you said, it was very diverse just in terms of the offerings that Microsoft have. Like, that was a really impressive selection of games. And it felt to me, and, you know, this is more of a top level, maybe even navel-gazy look at things, but, like, they let every game shine. Like, it didn't feel like you were rushing from one into another. Like, the trailers were a decent length of time. Like the big hitters, you know, you get Todd Howard on there, you got Bonnie Ross chatting about Halo, and you know, they were given like an appropriate amount of time for everything, and it just felt like it was a nice press conference where everything could breathe. That being said, so we're going to go through all of the biggest announcements from Xbox, and boy, there were a lot of announcements to get through, and then we're going to go into our kind of predictions for Square Enix Presents, which will be streaming right here in about 45 minutes. We'll obviously keep you updated if they decide to go early, and we'll immediately throw to them. So let's talk about Xbox. As we saw in our pre-show, Starfield unfortunately leaked. And I mean, honestly, I'm really glad that like they got it out of the way, because I think having brand new Arcane, having Redfall being the just one more thing, and that not leaking, like we already knew about Starfield, we knew Starfield existed, but now that we can watch the trailer properly and have it up as we're talking about it, and having Todd there to kind of give context. Jordan, what were your immediate takeaways from Starfield?
It looks good, like the visual style that they're going for. I'm intrigued by it. It's like a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of No Man's Sky. The suit design reminds me a bit of Returnal in a bit of ways. Like, it looks really cool. It's also like one of those games that I'm still kind of waiting to see what the gameplay actually looks like before deciding whether or not I'm actually excited for it. But like you said, I'm very happy that this was actually like the game that they led with. I was really worried going to this conference that Starfield trailer is going to be like their final big reveal. I'm like, oh no, their final big reveal has been spilled before the press conference even began. But it was a solid way to start the showcase. It's like, here's a giant new IP coming from Bethesda, Xbox console exclusive, that's coming to Game Pass. Here's the visual style. Get hyped, get excited. Now let's actually dive into a few games that you can kind of expect to get this year, early next year. I'm like, great way to start the conference.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm kind of glad that like there was still so much excitement about it, even though it leaked, and it leaked like so close to the start of the conference. But regardless, Tam, Stalker 2, even though it's technically the third Stalker game, I guess. I know you're a big fan. Yeah. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I really appreciated that they focused on narrative and a little more of the atmosphere of it, because I mean, those first two Stalker games, you had to kind of be there to at the ground level to really appreciate what they were. These days, they feel quite janky, but in terms of setting and atmosphere, Stalker is, I think there's like 2 or 3 maybe even Stalker games if you count like the various expansions. But I liked what I saw so far of it. It looks really, really polished, which was a surprise. But that kind of like feeling of being in this world that is incredibly hostile and you're around a couple of people who you're just trying to brave it through. That was a big part of what the Stalker experience is, and not really knowing what's out there, the things that go bump in the night. It is like survival horror, first person shooter kind of thing that is done as well as it could have been back then. So I'm excited to see that same team come back at it with modern sensibilities and kind of like really go at it again for the Stalker franchise. Like Shadow of Chernobyl and Call of Pripyat still hold up if you're willing to give them some leeway to be old games. So if you haven't checked those out, check them out, because I'm super, super excited about seeing this game come out and checking it out myself.
Yeah, I mean, I've never actually played Stalker before, but everything I was watching today, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, I've played Metro and I enjoyed Metro, so like, I definitely feel like the similar vibe is there. Jordan, what are your thoughts on Stalker?
It looks so creepy, and I'm stoked to try it. Like, Xbox had a lot of shooters at their conference today, but Stalker is one where I'm like, oh, it looks slow. I have to be careful. Like you said, Lucy, it's got those Metro vibes. I'm like, I'm here for that. I'm excited to do like a bunch of really stupid, crazy shit in Battlefield and Halo and stuff like that, but to get a chance to kind of slow down and take a more tactical, single player, probably more story-driven approach with Stalker 2. I'm excited. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, and then after Stalker, we had a little bit of Back 4 Blood, which I'm not going to linger on too much because we are going to see more of it later today. And Warner Brothers and Turtle Rock are doing kind of a little mini standalone presentation for Back 4 Blood. But it is coming to Game Pass day 1, October 12th, so the rumors were true. And we talked about it in the pre-show. That's kind of a very big incentive for a lot of us to kind of get together and play it. But after that was a brand new game that very, very brief cinematic CG trailer, Contraband, from Avalanche Studios. So this is the Just Cause devs, because there are 2 game dev studios called Avalanche, if I'm right in thinking. Or like one is Avalanche Studios, the other one is like Avalanche Games or something. Like one of them was the old software, yeah. But this is the Just Cause folks. So a co-op open world game. And like beyond this kind of tone piece of a trailer, we don't really know much else about it. Tam, what were your kind of immediate thoughts from this?
Yeah, I wish that we'd been able to see some gameplay, but it feels like towards the end of Just Cause, they started to take a few cues from the community. In terms of, there was a lot of modding efforts put into Just Cause to make it kind of multiplayer and kind of push back some of the limitations that were kind of keeping that game held in place. A game that's already quite out of control and wild. But I get the feeling that a 2-player or a multiplayer open world game where you can create mayhem is going to be a similar kind of thing that they go for again, based off the back of the kind of experimentation that they did towards the tail end of Just Cause. So I'm excited to see it, because they're a studio that's great at putting together these emergent gameplay moments. So I imagine it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for them to kind of step away from the Just Cause property, because Just Cause games were great, but after a while they had a very familiar shtick and it got a bit kind of tiresome. So giving them a new playground to mess around in seems like a winning formula.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see more. I love the kind of tone piece, but I definitely want to see what the actual gameplay is going to be like. Because I too got a little bit exhausted by the end of Just Cause, and would just love to see them do something else, but something that's within their wheelhouse, right? Like this next one, possibly my favorite reveal, just because in hindsight, we could have seen this one coming, because it matches so well. Like, I don't understand how there hasn't really been a big Pirates of the Caribbean Sea of Thieves crossover until now. But Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life, Captain Jack Sparrow is there, Tia Dalma is there, Davy Jones, coming as a free update June 22nd. Couldn't tell if this was the actual, if this was Johnny Depp voicing Captain Jack, or if it was just that guy who did his voice in Kingdom Hearts 2. But it looks like a kind of fun mashup of both of them. So I'm weirdly excited to dig into this, even though anything beyond Pirates of the Caribbean 2 was not a great movie. Jordan, what do you think of this one?
I mean, it sounds fun. It'll probably be a good enough reason for me to just jump back into Sea of Thieves real quick, just to kind of catch up on all the content that I've been missing out on. And I think that it's just a nice thing for Xbox to throw. And it's like, hey, not everything that we're going to show you today is like holiday season and 2022. We do still have more stuff coming this year. Don't worry, your decision to buy an Xbox Series S and X was actually a good one. You'll still have stuff to play this year.
Well, I mean, to that point, excuse me for looking off to my other monitor, but we did get a kind of look at that graphic at the end, which is like everything coming to Game Pass until the end of the year. And so you've got Yakuza Like a Dragon today, D&D Dark Alliance, The Ascent, which we saw a trailer for, Hades, 12 Minutes in August, Aragami 2, Sable, Fall 2021, we've got Anna Crucis, which we saw at Game Awards, Scorn, Back for Blood, Shredders, that brand new, kind of a strange trailer, I will say, but like the snowboarding game. There'll be Among Us, Hello Neighbor 2, The Gunk, still possibly my favorite name for a game ever. Flight Simulator coming July 22nd, Psychonauts August, Age of Empires 4 in October, Forza 5, Horizon 5, and then Holiday for Halo Infinite. So like, you're damn right
Good
when
stuff.
You're saying that like they're showing that it's not just 2022. They have so much coming in for the rest of 2021, especially if you are an Xbox Game Pass subscriber. So I'm genuinely excited to see more of Sea of Thieves. I love the way that that game has continued to grow and like not only sort of found its audience, but is just like catering to them and just really leaning into how wacky those expeditions can get. So I do love that. Tam, what did you think of Battlefield? We saw some gameplay from that one.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield, it feels like they're kind of... Battlefield has always been a franchise that is perhaps more ambitious than most other first-person shooters, and in recent years it felt like technology versus ambition started to kind of collide in a way that didn't work. Like DICE always seemed like they were going for things that they really pitched hard, and then towards when the game was out, it didn't quite hit what they want. That trailer smacked off something that was like, we figured out the right balance between ambition and technology, and now we can make this thing happen properly. Everything that was in there was spectacular, to say the least. And as in a multiplayer experience, it feels like even if you're not doing amazingly at the game, you will see some absolutely ridiculous things happening around you. And the stuff that is happening in each kind of like multiplayer kind of portion that they showed off, whether it's the rocket taking off or just cars exploding in midair, planes just suddenly swooping close to the ground, that is a level of exhilaration in multiplayer that is unique to Battlefield. And I think for the first time, the stuff like the Levolution and the vast destruction feels like it could work well and be as comprehensive as they've been wanting to get it for a really long time. So I feel like this is a strong showing for Battlefield and for DICE and EA.
Absolutely. Let's move on then to, we kind of saw some more from 12 Minutes. We got the release date. Psychonauts 2 got the release date there too. Jordan, I know you're psyched about 12 Minutes. You saw it in action recently, right?
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, it looks really good, and it has 3 phenomenal actors in it. I'm excited, and I'm glad that we finally have a release date for it, because this game's been at E3, I think, for 3 years now. I can't even remember. It's been around for a while, and I'm happy that it's finally coming out, and I'll finally get to play through the entire thing instead of just seeing preview after preview after preview.
I was gonna say, and I know, I think it has been, yeah, definitely like 2019. I think was the first time we saw it. I will never get over seeing the shining carpet in the hallway. I still love that little Easter egg. Then we had Uncle Pete Hines come to the stage to kind of give an overview over Bethesda and Xbox. He was actually wearing the Redfall shirt. And I guess because I think Tam, we were on this call and you were like, "What shirt is he wearing? Like, we should try and figure it out." But yeah, looks like he was doing the old Phil Spencer tease of wearing a shirt to tease an upcoming game. But yeah, just little updates there. Doom Eternal coming to Game Pass along with I think 9 other games. So it's gonna get 4K mode. It's gonna be optimized. 60 frames, ray tracing, the whole shebang, but I think you can play up to 120 frames, I want to say. Or maybe I'm mixing it up with Halo, but we'll move on. Skyrim, not the big update that we thought. It's just a photo competition or like a best Skyrim memories competition, Tam, so you got off there easy. Fallout 76 is getting a new update, Steel Rain and Expeditions, The Pit. And then ESO has a bunch of stuff upcoming, like just had the Blackwood latest pack, and then you've got like the Deadlands and the console optimization pack coming. So a lot of cool stuff happening with the ongoing games that Bethesda currently have. Let's move on then to Somerville. So I've skipped a couple here because Hades we know is coming to Game Pass, and Party Animals looked a little bit like Gang Beasts but with cute animals. But let's move to Somerville. So Somerville is being made by Jumpship. Built a studio built in collaboration with the ex-CEO and co-founder of Playdead. So yes, those
that
inside
makes so much sense.
Limbo vibes. So right now. Inside is a phenomenal game, like one of my favorites. It's such an incredible, I've used this word like 3 times already, but like tone piece. Like it is so well crafted, and like everything in that game feels so deliberate and precise, and I really hope that that's what we get from Somerville too. Jordan, what did you make of this one?
This is one of those games that, like, I know how press works, I know how marketing works, you can't actually do this, but I would love if they just don't reveal anything else until we get like an actual like, oh, and it's coming out on this day. Because like I am totally sold on this trailer alone. I'm like, it looks sort of like Limbo Inside. That makes total sense now that you've told me who the developers are and whatnot. I'm like, I'm in, I'm sold. The tone of this game seems masterful. You didn't like have any dialogue whatsoever, but I'm already like in love with this family unit that's running from this monstrous threat, I assume, in like this end of the world scenario. Great, awesome. That's all I need. Don't give me any more. Will be there day one.
Well, that's another one for 2022. But let's look to something a little closer. Still no concrete release date for Halo Infinite. I think that was one thing that we all really, really hoped would be there today, especially given the delay last year. All we know right now is holiday 2021. Tam, what did this Halo presentation do for you? Was it everything you wanted?
I think in terms of story, it was very like, okay, sure. There was some chat about Cortana being deleted. Someone pointed at Cortana and said, delete this, and it actually happened. But the thing that really stuck out to me was the gameplay. It looked good, like it looked real good, and visually as well as in terms of how it flowed. It felt like a very active, very vertical, very punchy Halo experience, and I really liked the way that the grappling hook was kind of integrated into it. In the single player section, they showed Chief kind of moving around this zero-G area and using the grappling hook to move from point to point, which was really, really cool. And then in the multiplayer, they showed like players, grabbing pieces of weaponry from a distance and using that to good effect. So, and then at the same time, the guns felt like they had a lot of punch. I would like to know what kind of that was running at, because it looked incredibly smooth, like so smooth, like to the point where I was like, this almost looks, it could be like 60 FPS or even 120 FPS for all I know, but like at times I was like, this looks like a movie. Like, then again, it could be just a very well done, like high frame rate kind of video recording of it that they've messed around with in Forge, and if Forge exists for this game, and kind of put together a gameplay showcase for. But everything I saw there was good, like fast, frenetic, fun. They had the superintendent from ODST pop up at one point. Sounded like they had a different voice for the voiceover. The Keltacular guy seems to be like not either it's a different one or he sounds like he's mixing it up a bit. But yeah, everything I saw there was inspired some confidence in me. The lack of a release date still is slightly unnerving. I would like to know what is going on with the single player, but I feel confident in saying that the multiplayer launching free to play, that's going to be massive. That's going to be so huge, and I feel like that on its own is also a pretty phenomenal case being made for getting an Xbox, because people have been talking about Halo's multiplayer since the start of Xbox. And if you're now in a position where you're like, maybe I should get an Xbox, and Halo is there, like free Halo multiplayer, that is pushing you over into the Microsoft camp.
Yeah, Jordan, what did you make of it?
I say kind of just echoing Tam. I love that they showed off so much of the grapple hook. I was incredibly worried going into this that we were going to get a kind of Halo Reach situation where it's like, oh, we should add special abilities to the Spartans that they can do, and they kind of felt like something that wasn't part of the core gameplay, like the whole armor lock, sprint, jetpack. It's like, oh, these are additional things that exist around the core Halo combat. But based on this trailer, at least it looks like the grapple hook's been implemented into the core gameplay loop. Like the Halo gameplay loop has evolved to incorporate the grappling hook into it so that you're more likely to actually use it, whether playing the single player or the multiplayer. Like Tam, a little bit worried about that release date ambiguity. I'm wondering, maybe they kind of do a thing where it's like the single player comes out and the multiplayer is delayed, or vice versa. Because if they just say holiday, that means they're like, oh, one can come out here and the other one can come out here, and they're both technically holiday season. But we'll see. It looks way better than what we saw last year, so that's good.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I just really wish we'd kind of locked in that release date. But I think 343 will be feeling the pressure because it is the 20th anniversary this year. It's already slipped by a year. So, I mean, fingers crossed it gets out the door with, no crunch. But, like, I can imagine they, just as much as we want to know what it is, I imagine they just want to kind of firm that date up and ship that game. We've got about 20 minutes until Square Enix presents. So there's a couple big more titles. I can't speak today. There's a couple more titles from Xbox we'll talk about before we discuss what we think we're going to see in Square's press conference, most notably Forza Horizon 5. It's been on the rumor mill for a while that this one would be based in Mexico, and yep, that was confirmed today. It looks really good. Like,
it's illegal how good all the Forza games look. Like, every year I'm like, man, there's no way that they can possibly top this. And then the next one comes out, I'm like, wow. This is so pretty.
It looks gorgeous, and Forza Horizon are kind of the racing games that I love, because I love that arcadey feel. I love the sort of storyline that you're kind of there as, the way they incorporate music, they incorporate this festival. And so now there's the new campaign mode where you're discovering new locations for the festival to expand into. But overall, it looks great. Like, I'm genuinely very excited, and it's November 9th. Tam, what do you make of this one?
Yeah, it looks stunning, and I like that they've leaned into the wacky aspects of it. We saw like driving into bowling pins. The wildest thing about Forza is like they talk about how beautiful it is, and it's like, oh, we've individually rendered every needle on this cacti, and this water behaves like this, and it's like, well done, but I will be going past all of that at 100 million miles per hour. So none of that is going to register to me, but I'm glad you did it. But yeah, Forza, I think probably Forza Horizon is certainly probably for me, the best racing franchise that currently exists. Rest in peace, Burnout. But I'm over the moon to see them come back and it coming out relatively soon. And again, Game Pass, baby. That's
Game
exciting.
Pass, baby. And finally, so I mean, Phil Spencer did sort of acknowledge, we know you want to hear updates on games like Fable and Elder Scrolls 6 and Avowed. And actually, as we were talking, Paris Lilly, friend of the show, he's actually going to be a part of our E3 coverage this week too, is hosting Xbox Game Showcase Extended Thursday, June 17th, where he'll be in conversation with devs from some of those studios like Double Fine, like Ninja Theory and Obsidian and Rare. So interesting to see if there's going to be more news there. But the show ended after kind of those little teasers from Phil about the other projects that they have in the works. The show ended on a genuine surprise. It's Arcane Austin's brand new game, Redfall. So we got to see the kind of CG trailer. It's an open world immersive shooter, because immersive shooter, what else could we expect from the lovely folks at Arcane? Xbox exclusive. And it's, I don't know, like a mix of sort of the supernatural and magic, but I mean, maybe it's just because I played so much Dishonored, but I see the purple and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is an Arcane magic game. But also vampires and technology. So I wonder if this is like Deathloop was already this kind of evolution of previous Arcane games, and I wonder if this is equally another evolution, like taking the best bits of previous Arcane titles and putting them into something new. Jordan, what did you think about this one?
Well, first off, whoever at Arcane Studios who is responsible for like creating the hair of certain characters, I want to like thank you personally. Like Dishonored 2, Deathloop, now this, like someone there understands how black people hair works, and I want to like, it's beautiful, great work, thank you so much. But like beyond that, this is one of those games, like you said, total surprise. I'm here for it. I think I might have been a little bit more excited for it had a game like this been announced before we got teases for things like Back 4 Blood, for Aliens Fireteam, before like we were looking at a year of like, here's a 4-player co-op shooter where you're gonna fight lots of hordes of these monster things with your friends. And to now get this game on top of that, I'm like, okay, how will you be different? I assume it'll be in the storytelling, because Arcane can tell a story like few developers can. But just,
well,
I'm waiting for that.
As we were recording,
man, there's so much.
As we were recording, so it is Evan Narcissa, previously of Kotaku and IO9, who wrote Rise of the Black Panther for Marvel and worked on Miles Morales, is working on this game at Arcane.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
that explains a lot.
That's the narrative. So I'm very excited. Along with Ricardo Bear, who previously worked on Dishonored, Prey Mooncrash, and Hazel Monforton, who previously worked on Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. So yeah, a powerhouse team of narrative there, especially coming off of Dishonored and Miles Morales. So I think feeling very confident in that narrative team. We've got just about 15 or so minutes before we head to Squares, so I'm going to wrap up our thoughts on Xbox. Overall, Tam, you gave it a 10 out of 10. Are you standing by that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like between all the games that are coming to Game Pass, both like indie, smaller games that were led by the tone pieces, as you call them, to the big stuff like Starfield. I mean, like Redfall is the standout for me. Like I love Arcane's games, and they're sowing the seeds for a fascinating universe and characters, which I really love out of them. And then updates for all the existing games. Halo looks great. They had pretty much every box that you would want them to ticked. So you really can't argue with the quality of that press conference. It's, like Jordan said at the start, one of the best Xbox press conferences that they've had so far, and most importantly, in a big way, addresses some of the complaints or criticisms that have been leveled against them. You know, people saying that Xbox doesn't have games. They absolutely do. They were proven right time before with their strategy with Game Pass, and as time goes on, I think Game Pass is going to go from strength to strength as it already has. And if you're an Xbox owner, it's a good time to be an Xbox owner. If you're not, it's a good time to jump in and just enjoy the games.
Jordan, closing thoughts on Xbox?
What Tam said, 2 thumbs up. Awesome job, Xbox. Like it was good. Like finally, you gave me the E3 that I've been asking for you to give me for like the past 4 years. Keep it up.
Well, Merry Christmas, Xbox. I mean, I don't think anything will ever, pass when Usher did all those really random videos. But we can hope that you'll get him back in to do some more. We've got about 15 minutes until Square Enix presents. So they've already announced, I believe, some of the games that they will be talking about today. Let's start with Babylon's Fall. So collaboration between Square Enix and Platinum Games. Revealed back, I didn't realize that when I was putting together the run of show today, I didn't realize it was revealed way back in 2018. So it's been quite a while. We saw an update from it, I believe, last year. Originally, it was listed for PS4. I assume that's going to be changed, unless it's cross-gen. But like, it looks, I mean, and I mean this as a huge compliment, but it looks like a Platinum Games game. It looks really cool. Immediately you get the Devil May Cry vibes. I know that's Capcom, don't at me for that, but like you get the Bayonetta vibes.
Yeah, they have a style to their games. Yeah,
it looks great, and I'm just very excited to see more of it, and I'm glad that they're also kind of saying we're going to be talking about it today. Tam, I know those games are your bag. What do you think we'll see from Babylon's Fall today?
I'm like, I'll take anything, and like I've been watching the old gameplay videos for so long, and obviously doesn't need to be said, Platinum, masters of the character action game, and their recent collaborations with Square Enix, especially as it pertains to Nier, have been like front and center for a long time now. They have developed a good relationship, and they've also kind of developed a kind of reputation as a result, perhaps inadvertently. The expectation for story is now way higher on Platinum Games. I mean, Yoko Taro did the heavy lifting on that stuff when it came to Nier, but they are inextricably linked now. People are going to play the Nier games, Nier Automata specifically, and think, oh, this is a studio that makes awesome character action games, and they tell a really compelling story with unique hooks and mechanics in there. It would be wild of them to take a step back from this point and not have a good story to tell. Having said that, even if it's something as simple as and schlocky and fun as Bayonetta or Vanquish or any number of other games that they have made with just kind of popcorn flick style stories that you can experience and then throw away, that's still enough for me. The things that I want from them are the mechanical stuff. I want to press buttons, and based on what I've seen in Babylon's Fall already, it looks like you will be pressing a lot of buttons.
You'll be pressing a lot of buttons very quickly to try and chain those combos. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Because what was the last Platinum Games one? Was it the Switch game? You played like a
Astral
detective
Chain.
Astral Chain. I believe that was Platinum, but I didn't really get on with that one. I remember trying it out, but here's hoping that Babylon's Fall, after having like quite a lot of time sort of behind, like tinkering away at it behind the scenes, I hope it's something really great. We also know we'll be seeing more of Life is Strange True Colors. Now, I'm really intrigued to see that they are breaking away from the episodic model, because that's kind of that's what I associate with Life is Strange. Thank God, from Jordan there, but like that's what I associate with Life is Strange. It's like they took that Telltale formula and they used it a lot in the way that each episode was structured. Like every episode had its own arc, and so I'm interested to see how that is going to translate to just one game. I know this is Deck 9, this is not the original dev, Don't Nod, and so I'm intrigued. And also I've been reading Mistborn recently, and I love that Alex Chen's character is essentially a soother, which is a reference only for people who've read those books, but still. Jordan, what do you think we'll be seeing from Life is Strange today?
I honestly think we'll probably get, or at least I hope, some sort of extended gameplay thing. Like during their big reveal, it's like, here's Life is Strange True Colors. They covered a lot of the story. They're like, here's a few of the characters we're bringing back from previous games. Here's the powers and everything like that. But we don't actually know what that's going to look like, how that's going to work. Like, this is a game that has an actual central location, and since it's not this episodic release where you're moving from place to place with every entry, there's going to be this one space you return to that's constantly evolving over time, and we don't really know how that's going to look. Obviously, they don't want to show their entire hand. It's like, here's all the secrets for this game, but we should probably get some sort of indication of how they're able to transform the traditional formula for Life is Strange by transitioning away from the episodic model. Like, it's still episodic. There's still like episode 1, 2, and 3, but since we're getting the entire package, what can you do with that? How can you change how this game plays and evolves depending on that we're getting all of it at once?
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see more of it. I'm also very interested in like the power itself. It's kind of the able to kind of absorb and manipulate strong emotions, and each emotion is represented by a color, hence the name Life is Strange True Colors. And I just think that kind of sets itself up to be for lots of cool gameplay moments and sort of character interaction moments. But I don't know if I want that system to be really reined in, or if I want it to just kind of be going the whole time, because I imagine that could get overbearing. But another thing that I do love about Life is Strange is how they work with music. And I remember the original Life is Strange had an incredible soundtrack, and that's one thing that I'm really hoping for in this one. I know they have looped in, I cannot remember their name. They're big on TikTok. I think it's the person who sang Prom.
Oh, the artist, MXM
Prom
tune?
Dress. Yes. So I've seen them tweet a bunch of stuff, and maybe we'll see more of the soundtrack today. But that's Life is Strange. We'll now be seeing some of that at Square Enix Presents. Marvel's Avengers. Tam, can I come to you for this one? They did.
Probably the only person still playing this game.
Me and Greg Miller, let's go, baby.
I was gonna say Simon Cardy deleted it from his hard drive to make space for
Greg,
something
and
else.
Sean now.
So yeah, so we're gonna see
And
Wakanda,
GoFob, Andrew
hopefully.
GoFob too.
Andrew GoFob too. They tweeted out a picture of Black Panther yesterday. Is this gonna bring you back to Marvel's? I mean, you weren't even there because you wanted to be there. You were there playing begrudgingly.
I mean, like, I am like duty bound to experience most Marvel content. I mean, before everyone gets up my ass, I was into Marvel comics before the MCU. Relax, okay, chill. But yeah, I mean, like, my issue with Marvel's Avengers has and continues to be a dearth of content. The drip feeding approach is not enough, and that has been a big problem. Everything they've given us so far it's a drop of water when we've been walking through a desert. That's just not good enough. But having said that, the Black Panther content feels substantial. It's a new character, a character that looks interesting, and will have a new area for us to explore and play in. And then also, that is going to have a knock-on effect on the other content in the game. So I am excited about the Black Panther content, War for Wakanda, in Marvel's Avengers. I hope that it's a little more meaty than previous expansions or content drops have been. We're still waiting for big things like the raid and that kind of stuff, and we're not going to get that for a while. But I hope there's enough in the Wakanda stuff to keep us coming back, and maybe even bring a few more players into the fold, because that is a game that, talk about games that could benefit from being on Game Pass. That is one of them. It's unfortunate that it's still a full price. I mean, you can find it discounted everywhere at this point, but it's unfortunate that the game has such an uphill struggle to bring people in, because between what it has now, like if you're the kind of person who wants to jump in, play an Avengers game, and then bounce, what it is now is pretty good. If you're the kind of person who wants to jump in, play the Avengers game, and then keep playing the Avengers game, less so. But I'm hoping that the War for Wakanda stuff will bring it a little closer to being that, you know, games as a service, persistent experience that we've been hoping it will become soon.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the point about it coming to Game Pass, but I think with the exclusive Spider-Man, I mean, where is the exclusive Spider-Man stuff for PlayStation?
Who is he? Where is he? He doesn't exist.
I
Spider-Man,
demand
I do not know
photos.
him. I do not know this
Photos of
man.
Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm interested to see if the Wakanda stuff can bring a lot of players back to Marvel's Avengers, because I mean the single player mode was a lot of fun. I had a good time with that. It's just I can't do the grind, man. That just wasn't enough for me. Speaking of Marvel, we know that there is going to be the new game from Eidos Montreal. The rumor mill, been going over time, believing that it is a Guardians of the Galaxy game. I think the movie's coming out. Is it next year? Jordan, are you a big fan? Do you think this rumor is going to be true? Like, are you psyched for a Guardians game, or do you kind of wish that Eidos would maybe do a 180 and just slyly reveal another Deus Ex that everyone is asking them for?
Well, when you put it in those terms, then it's like, well, yeah, I want Deus Ex. But if the rumors are to be believed, and we're getting a Guardians game, like, just take heed of what Marvel's Avengers has done right and what it has not quite captured. Like, show us something that's really story driven, maybe just make it single player. I'm not quite sure how you do that, given that the Guardians of the Galaxy are a group of people, but I'm sure you can make it work. Marvel's Avengers just shows that sometimes you don't have to go with the game as service model with your new game. You don't actually have to do that every single time. Sometimes you capture something really, really good with a single player game. And so if you are going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy game, I hope it's that. And if it's not that, then I hope the rumors are wrong.
I was going to say, just like sometimes it's okay not to have a press conference, sometimes it's okay not to be a game as a service. So that's the stuff that Square has announced that they're kind of going to be talking about today. Let's talk about my favorite bit, rumors. Because I mean, that's 4 games for like 45-minute press conference. I think there's more. We did just have the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade with the Yuffie chapter. I've not had a chance to play it just yet. But do we think we'll get any breadcrumbs about Remake 7 Remake Part 2? It's getting into Kingdom Hearts levels of titling there. Tam, what do you reckon?
Absolutely not. I do not think that they will be showing off Part 2. I would love it. I would be well up for it. If we do get something, it'll just be a logo that says Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 or whatever. The thing that I still feel there will be Final Fantasy VII content. I don't think it's going to be this specific game, but they have a lot to work with. They've got the mobile games, they've got the weird battle royale game, they've got a bunch of other games, and then there was that rumored action game that's being developed by Team Ninja that is supposedly in production and got leaked. So maybe we finally get to see that. I hope we do get to see that, because that sounds cool, although I'm still very wary of Team Ninja doing action games based on other people's IP. I lived through Metroid Other M, and I still have nightmares about it. But they have improved as a studio massively between Neo and the various other games that they have been working on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very intrigued to see. I think that the Team Ninja one is called, let me see, Final Fantasy Origin. That's according to a report by Fanbyte. I mean, I'd be down to see it. I think that could be really interesting. I do wonder how much Final Fantasy they are going to like lean on in this press conference, if they do at all, because obviously there is 7 Part 2. Like you said, there are the mobile games. There is the Battle Royale game. there is the sort of 7D make, I suppose you could call it. There's that one. But then there were all these rumors too. I saw Jason Schreier tweeting about this earlier today, but like a 2D Final Fantasy, some sort of collection, which would make sense. And people were kind of tweeting out the other day that all of the app shortcuts on iPhone, like all of the artwork had changed. So maybe there is something in that rumor. I don't know, but I think it'd be cool. Do we think 16 today? Anything from 16?
No.
You don't?
There's no way. Like Tam says, they have flooded themselves with so many Final Fantasy projects. There's no way that they have all of these plates spinning and they're like, oh yes, and we're well enough on our way with Final Fantasy 16 that we're able to show something off. There's no way.
I don't know. I remember. I don't know. I remember the rumor mill last year. I remember people saying that 16 is further along in development than people think it is.
And
so
also,
I would be very. I hope it's there today. I really want to see it today.
Putting on my like hat, if I was working there and coming up with strategy / marketing, I would say to the team there, we should right now. Final Fantasy Ziv is like A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Sword. All of that stuff has popped off so hard, and everyone is in love with all of the MMO stuff we're doing. This is creative team that is responsible for a lot of that. We can parlay a lot of goodwill into this new Final Fantasy project, and it would at the very least behoove them to show something small and have from the team that bought you the MMO this game, even if it's like a short teaser or even just like a kind of splash screen. I think that would do a lot of good for them, and also keep the conversation around Final Fantasy 16 going. I think it's pretty important that for them to do. I would think anyway. So I hope they do, and I'm kind of just willing it just for Michael Hyam, who is sadly
just
not with us.
manifesting.
He's not. Yeah,
He's not dead.
Not dead. He's at E3, so you will see him on the ESA stage, probably screaming about Final Fantasy shortly after this.
I mean, we were watching the PlayStation press conference last year when they announced Final Fantasy 16, and he lost it because he's such a huge fan, and so it was very, very endearing. And so I want that for Michael, basically. We've got just under a couple of minutes before we'll go to the Square Enix Presents conference. Forspoken, formerly Project Athia. I wonder if we'll see more of that today, but also I think what's more likely is it is the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider this year. I would love to see them do something with that. I don't know if it would be a new Tomb Raider game, or maybe even just like a remake in like, took what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake and just like really put a lot of time and energy and resources into fully remaking that game. Just make the platforming better, because I remember playing that as a kid and it being unforgiving. We're shortly going to go over less than a minute until we go over to Square. Tam, big prediction. What do you want to see?
Nobody cares about Tomb Raider. This is Legacy of Kain season. Where is Soul Reaver? Where is Soul Reaver, Square Enix? If you do another press conference without mentioning Legacy of Kain or Soul Reaver, you are most of the way dead to me again. Put Lara Croft in a grave, revive Raziel finally.
How dare you?
I know. He'll get reprimanded as we watch. Jordan, what about you?
Give me a 2022 roadmap from Marvel's Avengers. Give me any indication to re-download this game because you care about its future. Anything, any indication. I don't care.
All right, we're heading over to Square now. Make sure to stay tuned because we'll be breaking down the press conference as soon as it's over. We'll see you soon.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Matt Mercer here, and I'm back as your host of Square Enix Presents. Today, we have a special E3 edition of the show for you, with new game announcements, updates, and exciting news from our studios across the globe. So let's kick off with the world premiere of a brand new game from Eidos Montreal. We hope you enjoy the show.
I am so proud of you. Do you know what a birthright is, Peter? Something that's a part of you. Like your name.
Gardeners of the Galaxy?
What? No, Rocket. So I let Groot fill out the paperwork.
So we got fined.
We appear to be 6,963 units short.
I know, we clearly need a plan.
If you see anything with claws the size of Drax, let me know.
We got this. Drax, throw him.
No!
Peter?
You want monster? I'll show you monster!
No! We disrobe!
Keep your pants on.
Although it could be used as a distraction.
Smash him up, Drax!
Meet your maker!
We're all professionals here, right? Maybe we can work something out.
Peter!
You had one job, Quill.
I did exactly what? Gamora, no killing teammates!
That's who!
It's literally in your contract!
I made no such commitments.
In less than 3 cycles, all would be lost. The galaxy cannot be saved, Peter Quill.
We can do this together!
Fucking great, Quill!
Star-Lord, right?
No, of course I will. I'll call you.
Hi, my name is Olivier Proux, senior producer here at Eidos Montreal. For the past few years, we've had the privilege to work on our version of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and reimagine it into a single-player, story-driven, third-person action-adventure game. It's our own fresh take on the Guardians, and something that's really unique to our game is that you get to be Peter Quill. As Star-Lord, you're constantly in the middle of the action as you try to lead this band of misfits. But today, I'm really excited to have all of you join us on this journey, and you'll hear more about the game from our team behind this project.
Right, let's do this!
I've always loved Marvel's cosmic characters. Growing up as a kid, I read them, enjoyed them, loved them. I had the opportunity to write for Marvel on some of their cosmic titles. I went back with the help of Bill Roseman, the editor, and kind of cherry-picked characters from Marvel's past.
The opportunity here was to build a team, but to make it all underdogs, so that the reader would think, oh my gosh, how is this team going to survive?
And that became the Guardians of the Galaxy comic, which we loved working on.
I remember the first time that the Marvel crew came to Montreal, we were showing them the design of the characters, how they would look, and they stayed silent. I don't know if it's a minute, but in my head, it was a minute. I was like, oh my God, like they hate it.
We realized how much that Marvel and Eidos Montreal share and have in common, and that we knew the Guardians were in perfect hands.
Looking at the samples that Eidos were kind enough to show me, I think he's fantastic and absolutely in the spirit of what these characters are.
What makes the gameplay experience unique to me is no matter in what phase of the game you are, whether you're in exploration or you're fighting, the Guardians are constantly around you and you never feel alone. While you're the leader, the Guardians will also challenge you and make decisions on their own, and you will have to adapt to it.
You are literally part of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
The decisions you'll make will have lighthearted to haunting repercussions, and the game will react to what you do and say.
Gamora, no killing teammates!
Says who?
It's literally in your contract! I made no such commitment.
You are playing as Star-Lord and you're using your blasters and you're using your jet boots.
Star-Lord is really empowering. He's very agile on the battlefield. He can slide and over with his jet boots. Of course, he has his elemental blasters that have different powers as well. And on top of all of this, he can use the unique abilities of his Guardians.
We're not pirates. We're legally incorporated heroes for hire.
Gardeners of the Galaxy?
What? No.
The story is about a group of misfits, the Guardians. In our world, they've been together for less than a year. They create something on a small scale that looks insignificant. And as they progress through the story, they discover that they created something really big that threatens the galaxy.
There are a lot of very interesting villains in the Marvel franchise. And when you're starting to work on a story like this, you get to get your pick of which ones will make the best for this story. That gives us the opportunity to bring in some that are well known, but some that are also not all that well known.
What Eidos is getting so right about them is capturing what it's like to be a misfit family. They're also bringing an amazing imagination to it. You're going to see planets and characters that are going to blow your mind.
Interpreting it in its own way, I think, makes it feel incredibly fresh and exciting. It's not a matter of trying to replicate the comic or trying to replicate the film. It's trying to take the medium you're working in and make the best version of Guardians out of that.
They made it fun. They made it rock and roll. They delivered everything you would want in a Guardians game.
$37 units?
We appear to be 6,963 units short. If we intend to keep our ship, Peter Quill.
I know. We clearly need a plan.
What about selling Gamora's crap?
What?
Oh, come on. You've been hoarding them stupid knickknacks ever since you first joined us. I mean, don't tell me they ain't worth nothing.
Quarantine zone was always
holding out on
My
us.
figurines are not knickknacks.
Team's in trouble, and you can't be bothered to make no sacrifice.
I will sacrifice your head.
And take us to the majestic mountains of Kakarandara.
Guys, I think we should hear out Groot for once.
You know, the only problem with your plan is that Lady Hellbender only buys monsters, and you are not a monster.
Groot, are you really offering to...
No, he is not offering that, okay?
It could work.
Sell Groot? I guess we could bust him out after.
Absurd. Lady Hellbender seeks the monster within. The small, ugly one is clearly the correct choice. He is cruel, sadistic, and his soul is filthy and filled with rage.
I vote we sell Groot. I honestly think Lady Hellbender will go for it.
Yeah, well, I vote for not Groot.
I also vote for the creepy little beast.
2 votes each. Peter?
Well, Rocket's definitely scarier on the inside. He's unstable and vicious and totally oblivious to the needs of others.
Okay, we get it.
All right, let's do this. Let's go sell a monster.
We're not seriously flying into that.
You say the weather patterns of Seknarf 9 are tied to the temperament of its ruler.
That's not how women work.
Or weather.
We're flying the wrong way.
Nah, he's not flying at all.
Guys, relax. Just one minor adjustment.
I ever mentioned how much I hate rain?
Hellbender's castle isn't even that far. That is not a castle. It is an impregnable fortress.
So how do we impregnate it?
Ask Peter!
Let's just get closer. We'll figure it out on the way.
There is nothing to figure out. As beast merchants, we will easily gain access to Lady Hellbender.
Good. We've already got a beast. All that's left is the merchant part.
Good thing I put on my official merchant costume.
There is no such thing. Right?
The fact you ain't sure don't vote so good.
Whoa! That is some really crazy lightning out there. Never seen anything like it.
Meteorological suicide is what it is.
Hey, is my jacket all right?
At least you got a jacket. Some of us are soaking here.
Less whining, more walking.
Hey, Stormlord, we ain't seriously walking through this. It'll take forever in this storm.
Stop complaining. The hardship will strengthen your spirit.
I face more than enough hardship. Thank you very much.
You are welcome, Feeble One.
We got this. Just don't fall and we'll be fine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Everyone okay? We should have gone to Maku 4. I would be wary, Rodent.
You know what? I survived freaking Half-World. Think I'm scared of some little...
It's not alone. Get ready.
What are these things?
They are amorphous vermin.
Shoot first, questions later.
Drop them, Gamora!
This won't hurt much.
Smash them up, Drax!
Meet your maker. Steel Boy's enjoying this way too much.
This is the local fauna!
It's about to be an endangered species.
Groot! Hawkeye time! Oh, you, Rocket!
Time to go boom!
Should we ask them for directions?
I'm thinking maybe they are directions.
Oh, like a signpost or something.
I'm not saying it's an arrow with the word fortress on it, but statues suggest civilization, and the only settlement I saw when we were topside
was Lady Hellbender's fortress.
Dead end. That's just great.
It's a retractable bridge. They used them at the prison I was in.
Too bad the controls are on the other side of the giant chasm.
What do you not have time to dawdle in this jungle? I shall hurl the creature over the chasm so he may activate the bridge.
I may activate a hole through your face. Put me down.
He'll be fine. Just curl up in a ball.
What?
Drax, throw him.
No.
Very well.
Peter?
It's okay. He'll land on his feet. Ooh. I guess that only applies to cats.
You sons of sharks! Scut-busting ass!
I am not familiar with these words. Order the beast to do its job.
Rocket, come on, man!
Ram it, dash face!
Fix the bridge and we'll raise your cut by 5%.
I want 10.
Okay, deal. Thanks for the bridge, Rocket.
If you even think of pulling that
Wait,
scud again.
Hear that?
Guys.
I got it.
These creatures are perfect predators.
Stop cheering for the murder monster!
Somebody's having fun. Keep it together, Doc.
Bad dog! Bad dog!
We've got the numbers.
Not if you count all that teeth we know.
That dog has a new predator.
Avoid the mouth, dodge the tail, slice the hair.
Is anything on this planet not trying to kill us? Guys, huddle up! Already missing the jiggle jellies!
They keep moving around.
It is past time my blades were bloody.
Don't get too close to that mouth!
This guy barely feels it.
Yeah, I smell it too.
Come on, we got this!
Perhaps these were sent by Lady Hellbender.
How come monsters are never friendly? That is definitely in my top 10 fortresses.
Peter?
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, right. The cage.
The point of even getting the Flarkin thing was looking like we mean business.
All right, Rocket. Time to put on your monster face.
I only got one face, Quill.
Are you sure about this, Peter?
Look at him. You better have one hell of a sales pitch.
Maybe Gamora's right. We should try selling Groot instead.
What?
Really?
This is an affront to democracy.
I just think that we might need Rocket on the outside for this one.
Yeah, we noticed. You want to make that call, then you better not mess this up. You hang tight there, bud. When the time comes, I'll get you out of there. Rocket style if I gotta.
Drac. Gamora, can you help me with this? What? Why?
To guarantee your safety as our leader.
Oh, come on.
Don't look at me, I ain't pulling that thing. Remember, buddy, menacing! Like me, only bigger.
I am Groot.
Not bad, not bad. Easy, big guy.
So, how long before someone else wants to pull this thing?
You're 60 clicks from the fortress.
I'd say closer to 75.
You got this!
Rocky, what are you doing?
Guardians of the Galaxy. How many times do I have to kill you? The audacity that you thought you could rob me, Dweller! Feast upon them!
Now we're going to revisit two iconic brands that are being remastered for modern platforms. First up, relive the classic games in the Final Fantasy series, and then get one more peek at Legend of Mana ahead of its June 24th launch. Up next, Earth's mightiest heroes continue their fight to defend the world in Marvel's Avengers. The team at Crystal Dynamics is excited to share the latest updates with you, including new mission types and a growing roster of heroes.
Rangers, secure that super weapon at all costs. Cosmic energy is building up.
Every second counts, people. Keep it moving.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
You're out of your depth, Avenger.
Shutting you down, Monica.
The world doesn't need Avengers. AIM will save this world. I will save it.
There is no end to these clones. You don't understand what that cube is capable of.
I applaud your efforts to connect with your roots, but as a man who has seen 3 Black Panthers fall, I must warn you of a few things. Many eyes follow the path you are about to walk down.
They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same.
You just wanted to show off your suit.
They all want the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king.
It is Claw.
Brother, no!
Vibranium doesn't belong to you!
You're right. Vibranium does not belong to me. It belongs to Wakanda.
Look at me now, count me down. So give me the crown. They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Say I walk like
Now it's time to give mobile players a quick look at some of the games that will be available in the coming months.
Good evening, 426. Our intelligence reports a new threat to global stability. Their reach is unlike anything we have seen before. Following Agent 47's disappearance, you were selected because of your remarkable skills. Execution must be perfect. We will strike from the shadows, and they will never know what hit them.
A sad and beautiful tale that echoes throughout eternity. The first mobile entry in the Nier series. Nier Reincarnation.
Today, the team at Platinum Games is giving you an exclusive look at the epic world of Babylon's Fall, featuring fluid combat, powerful weapons, and a unique art style.
Built over 1,000 years, it was meant to be a tower of dreams. But for 1,000 more, it was seen as a tower of ruin. Persevering through fire and ice and the coldest of winds, eventually the tower became a symbol of unrelenting ambition. That tower's name is Babylon.
Does the savior of Neo-Babylon stand among us? Let's find out without further ado!
If I'm to die, then I'll die for hope, for what little hope there may be.
Seen through the veil at last, have you? We're all prisoners of our subjective reality.